Mary Lou Roberts, Jasper, Bridget. Welcome everybody to Cam. Welcome everybody to Encounters. Sing to Me. Welcome, Sing to Me. This is Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show. Meriwether, Ron, Sophie, everybody coming in there. And we're glad to have you with us all around the world. Please follow on my profile. Press the follow button. Press the like button. And also when you start pressing and tapping on the screen, it'll go up. We're now at 0 likes. That's kind of weird, unless that's not working. We're at 7. Okay, now it's working. Yeah, there we go. So, press the thing. It's just a little bit delayed, I guess, on the TikTok. So we want to get up to 100,000 likes as we usually do. Hey, Fossey Jane, please share, FYP, and share as well. And we're glad to have everybody with us here tonight on a cold night up here in New England. Norma Flores, Lily Bloom, Lisa Tucker, Kate W. Rock, Lise for you. Hey, Lise for you, welcome. C Jam 186, welcome. Hetty, hey Hetty, thanks for the like. Aaron, welcome. Aaron Official. All the people, Marinee, Rita, good to see you. Hey, Chesno, good to see you, brother. Hey, Hetty, everybody in there. Miss Ernie, Tommy, Levi Shelter, welcome. Everybody, Gigi Lupo something, user 406, welcome. Dollhouse, that's an interesting name. Welcome to the show. All the people out there, and everybody out there. Alien, hey Alien, good to see you, brother. Everybody in there. So hopefully we'll do a lot of things tonight. We're not going to be doing any more tonight. I'm going to just take a break from scanning people. On Saturday night, I've talked to April, who's my who works with me, who's with the Ashtar Command, and who has been going off planet hundreds of times. So we're going to wait till Saturday night, and we're going to work together. Alien, on Saturday night, April and I are going to work together to get that other implant out of you. We talked about it today, so we'll do that on Saturday night, on Ashtar Command night. Hey, no, it's just good to see you, Elizabeth. Welcome. User 956. You got more information. Okay, so, all right, so we're not doing any more scanning tonight, but I'll let you come up with more information. And then I'm going to try to do a lot of interviews this evening. So we'll definitely let you come up in just a bit. Give me a little bit of time to just wait for more people to get in here. And we're here till 1 a.m., 11 to 1 Eastern. Wicked Torch, welcome. Roland, welcome. Thanks for the share. User 9-something, Sandy, welcome to our show. And it's a good night. We had a lot of ice and really weird weather, like the ice storm, so I didn't go anywhere today. I just kind of chilled out, which I needed to do. Listening Chris on Sean Ryan's. Okay, hey Elizabeth, welcome to the show. 661, hello. Let's see. Exo, Lapera 4, welcome. Hey Kelly, welcome to the show, to Encounters. Hey Chung, welcome Chung. Arving, welcome. Tim McGiver. Shell 0524, welcome everybody, new people. And when you come in, hey Martha, welcome to the show, Marta. Angel Z, furry, me. I like that. Hey Angel Z. Hey, thank you for the heart, Chung. I appreciate it. Thank you, brother or sister. Thank you for the gift. And all the people coming in here, if you've just finally found this show, this is the #1 spiritual UFO talk show. Hey, California. Francine, hope things are going well out there on the West Coast. Bell, welcome, Bell. Archangel, welcome, Archangel. Yvonne, welcome, Yvonne. Bishop, hey, Bishop, welcome. Thank you for the hat, Chung. I appreciate the gift. Karen 55, welcome. Kazoo, that's a good name, Kazoo. I like that name. I used to have a kazoo when I was a kid. Karen 55, Miss Hill, it's cold. Yeah, it is cold. And we just took it easy today. And actually, in many ways, it was good for me just to relax, Christine, good to see you. Maria Sanchez, welcome. Lizzie the Gold, that's a good name too. Hey, Bouncy, welcome. Good evening. User 331, good evening. Mark Farrell, Rita, everybody coming in here. Good evening, wherever you are. Regular Regs. Hey, Regular Regs. Everyone out there around the world. So if you're new here, this is a show that deals with the spiritual levels Dharma Dust, I believe the crafts are sentient. Do I believe the crafts are sentient, mean like living consciousness? Some spaceships from the higher dimensions are living consciousness, yes. Hey, Rob, good to see you. Leanna, good to see you. Cleo, Goodwin, good to see you. Absolutely true. Jenna, so some of the ships that don't look like metallic ships, they are living consciousness. They are actually ships, but they're created by consciousness. Yeah. Hey, James Farmer, good to see you. And everyone coming in here tonight. Hey, Dream, good to have you with us, Dream. Andrew, welcome, Andrew. Paris, welcome, Paris. Joyful, I like that. Joyful 233, John. I can go on all night saying hello to everybody. Hey, Bouncy, Jason Rogers. But just realize hello to everybody out there wherever you are. And I got the apple cider going. So if you're new to the show, one of the things I've done for 3 years is I always have some New England apple cider when I'm doing the show. So if you see me drinking something, it's apple cider. Hey, Jason Rogers, welcome to the show. Roland, Raggy 14. Is Mr. Stephen Greer still going? Where's Stephen Greer going to? You know, I'm waiting for the big Stephen Greer disclosure that was supposed to happen, and haven't seen it yet. Good, Bouncy. Jario, welcome, Kelly. So just give people a background of me. I've been involved in the field even before I was involved in the field, I had my contact when I was a kid in the 60s. And I didn't even know what a UFO was. You know, I had direct contact with space people and before I was a teenager. And then after that happened, I was more conscious of the sky and always saw things. I saw spaceships. I saw green objects at 3 a.m. I'd get up, look out the window, and I'd see these green objects go over like a round circular ball of light. And that was down in the 1960s. And then I had all kinds of sightings, even up until now. I've had sightings all my life. So I had a great interest in learning what this thing was that we were seeing. And, you know, hey, Lawrence, good to have you with us, brother. Yeah, we took care of that. You're back, brother. And so we took care of that whole thing with learning about the different aspects of ufology. And I found that because I did have a sighting, I wasn't so interested in the technology. I was more interested because I have a direct contact with space people that were human. I was interested in the spiritual aspects of ufology, meaning the space people. I could care less about the spaceship. I want to know about the space people, their consciousness. Laval, good to see you. Rachel, good to see you. And I think that one of the things we who get into this subject, if you're new to the subject of ufology or UFOs or UAPs or whatever you want to call them, everyone keeps changing the name in the Pentagon or whatever. The fact of the matter is, if you have a sighting, you're seeing something that's out of this world. And they're all different types of spaceships, and not all of them are solid objects. You know, and we try to figure the ones out that aren't solid. We say, well, what kind of spaceship is that? Because someone like the earlier person said, some of these spaceships are living consciousness. For example, some of the galactic ships that are coming to Earth, they're created through living consciousness. The collective of all the space people, they can create the spaceship, and it's a living consciousness. There are controls on the ship, there, all those things, but it's way beyond our concept of understanding. Star, good to see you. So, what we consider how a ship operates is limited by a 3D primitive consciousness that we have here on Earth. NASA. Don't think that NASA and all these other things don't have some sort of more advanced, for Earth, a more advanced reverse technology that they use. I'm absolutely certain that NASA has something else other than a pencil rocket that they shoot up from Cape Canaveral. I think that's just a cover. I think they have more than they even tell us. Absolutely more. But to keep the human population thinking we're trying to get there, Candace, yeah, I find those things so interesting. Also, I always want to learn more. And that's just the way I am, too. I've always wanted Candace to learn more. I never stop learning. I think we all have a wanting now to learn more and more about what we're dealing with here. And one of the things I do, hey, Amina, thank you for the gifts, for the roses. One of the things I'm really focused on and committed to is disclosure. I'm committed to the truth, the cosmic truth, and nothing but the cosmic truth. You won't find me as a host reading everything about everybody. I do scan on my iPad some of the latest UFO people, what they're doing, what's going on in the world with that. But in truth, I'm more interested in you. I'm more interested in people that are recording things in the sky, having encounters with space people, which people are having. I've had guests on here in the 3 years who are having direct contact. I'm more interested in that. And I say to myself, we're waiting for all this great disclosure to come out, right? Hey, Yvette, good to see you. We're going to try to get you on here tonight. I'm hoping that'll work. I'm all about disclosure. And what is disclosure? What does that mean? Does it mean that we wait another, a bazillion years because I don't think that, from my perspective, the so-called people in world governments that are involved in the subject in all the different big countries, they all have what they call like a Department of Defense or a Pentagon. Every big country does. And those countries know what's going on. Those countries have information. There's no transparency. I think I have a chip. Tiger Lily. Give me time to think about it, because I was a lot of work last night with Alien, so I want to take a break. What we'll do is Friday night, Tiger, I'll bring you up and I'll scan you for a chip and we'll take it out. I want to take a break. Last night was like a long period of energy work, and so I'm taking a break from that. But tomorrow night, I promise, if you want me to, I definitely will scan you tomorrow night. But yeah, most definitely. Salty Dog, the chips or the implants that could be chips, the chips are usually could be our government working with negative ETs, which a lot of that is. The other implants are done by the negative ETs. And there's various things they do. They attach to the person. They can mess up the person's consciousness or vibration. They could also cause problems physically and health-wise for the person. And it's not good. So what I do, and I have been doing since last year when I started being activated, last night was kind of weird, but in terms of taking out chips, I've taken out a bazillion different types of implants out of people on my show here, and I've been gifted that ability. No, we're not. Stephanie, no. The good news is you're not implanted at birth. You come here in the physical form, but nobody's implanted at birth. That happens during an abduction. So if someone gets abducted by a lower vibrational ET, you could be implanted. Sometimes the lower vibrational ETs, what they more or less want, certain groups of them, is to get your DNA in order to procreate a more human side of themselves, which they lost, such as the Zeta. I've talked about that before. They lost their humanity because they became so advanced, they out-humaned themselves, so to speak. Dr. Hai, welcome to the show. Thank you for the share. Dee, welcome. And so, no, nobody, if people ask me, should I be implanted? I say no. You never want to be implanted or invite that to you from any kind of lower vibrational ET. It's just not good. So one of the things we do here is on the show, at times, we will, when people tell us they've been implanted, I'm really trying to figure like special nights for that, because it's a lot of work for me energetically to go remotely remove implants, and I've removed most of them. And hey, Ozzy, good to see you. Okay, we're not gonna believers in everlasting life. Believer in everlasting life. Welcome to the show. Jesus is a space person, and Jesus said, "If you die in your sins, you will perish." I don't know who came up with that comment. It's probably a 3D religious thing, but Jesus never said that, because Jesus is a space person. Anyway, just a little bit of sidetrack there. How do you keep them from implanting? Well, if they, Teresa, let's say you had an implant and you said, Commander, I have an implant. Once I take out the implant, let's say hypothetically, I put a shield around you. And by putting a shield around you, I actually protect you from getting implanted again. They'll never come back. And plus, the other thing is, we go after the ETs that did that to you. So let's say you were that person, we would actually send out a beacon to get those ETs that implanted you, and we'd send them off planet, and they would not be able to come back. And we've done that before. So yeah, once if you've never been implanted, again, you want to put a protection around you. If you've never been implanted by lower vibrational ETs, you can protect yourself in advance of any of that happening. And that is always why I talk about Christ, cosmic Christ consciousness. If you don't understand what cosmic Christ consciousness is, it's the most important consciousness. If you operate frequency-wise in your body, your consciousness at that Christ consciousness frequency, a lower vibrational ET cannot touch any human being that operates in cosmic Christ consciousness. But not every human being operates in that consciousness. Now, many of you probably are. Some of you might not even know that what that is. That's why I'm describing what cosmic Christ consciousness is. Hey, Angel Z, good to see you. Let's see here. Hey, thank you, George Martin. Oh, you're welcome, Teresa. It's a great question, and I can answer a lot of questions for people. I have a lot of knowledge. I know I do a lot of interviews, but I don't always share what I know. But I do know a lot of things, and don't hesitate to ask me a question. If I don't see your question, I will take a look at it here. Let's see. Moderator Hetty deleted a keyword. Okay. Keep saying, oh, that's pretty weird. What's going on with that? All right. Hopefully that's over with. And so it's really important. Wendy, welcome to the show. HVAC, welcome. Paranormal phenomena. So this is where I can help you. So it's a great question. There really aren't any aliens on our planet. We've come up in Hollywood with terms like alien. In documentaries on History Channel, they use the word alien. They might use the word extraterrestrial once in a while. On social media apps, whether it's this or any other app, people keep calling them aliens. There are what we call various vibrational frequencies of beings that are either lower vibration, which would be the negative ones, and they're not a whole bunch of them, but they do exist. Then you have what we call the spiritual beings, the space people. They are the people I work with, and most of them are human. They have different colors of skin. Some look like us with our color, and some look like blue. Some have different colors, like sort of like light gold. They're all different types, but they are more of the higher vibrational frequency people, paranormal. So if you ever were to have contact with an extraterrestrial intelligence, the one thing you'd want to say, and hypothetically speaking, are you a Christed being of light? And if they're not a Christed being of light, obviously you don't want to have anything to do with them, because they are there for purposes that are not good. And believe me, I've studied that part of it. And so you always want to be protected. I know a lot of people want to contact somebody in outer space, but it's not making contact with just anybody in outer space. You want to contact the positive forces of light, which are the higher vibrational beings of light, the spiritual beings of light. And most of them look like us. Some of them don't, but most do. And it's a great question. So I'm glad you asked it. Mindless occasion. Does intelligence and how low or high vibration have anything to do with each other? Yes. Great question, Mindless. So if a person on Earth, human, is violent and is going out destroying things, they're operating in a lower vibration. If a person is not doing that, is not destroying things or committing, creating forest fires in a national park, or doing that kind of stuff, and they're doing like good things and helping people and are in a positive state of consciousness, even if they're not connecting with positive ETs yet, that person's vibration is a lot different than the person that is all over the place causing problems or being chaotic and destroying things. There's a difference in vibration. So the human being that does not destroy things is already operating on a higher vibration. The human being that is operating and destroying things or getting into fights or bullying people is operating in a lower vibrational frequency on Earth. So that outcome will be that if there is going to be contact with that person destroying things, they're going to invite to themselves possibly a lower vibrational ET experience. If the person is doing good things and doing really positive things, they most likely could invite a higher vibrational spiritual being from another planet to connect with them, and people have. So that's a great question, Wireless. And it has to do with each other, yes, because if you meet a person and you see somebody that's homeless laying down on the street of a city, and somebody is making fun of them or whatever, and you see that and you go over and say, "Stop it," that's not good, you know. As you interact with that human that's doing that, you're saying, "No, don't do that to that person. That person needs, assistance and help." And maybe you'll convince the other person that they did something that wasn't really very positive. So hopefully that answers your question. No wonder why you can't answer my question. It's being deleted. Angel Z, let me bring you up here. I don't know what your question is. Try it. Let me see here. Divine brings music to heal, inspire. We're going to bring you up here. I don't know why it's being deleted. Angel Z, when I can't get the question, I bring him up. That's what we always do here. Hey Angel Z, welcome to Encounters.
Hi, I'm a trucker and I drive nights. I do see a lot of stuff.
Oh
But
wow.
my question is, can can you be taken in your subconscious or consciousness be taken and then your body left behind? That's my
Good
question.
question. I'm gonna answer that too. I'm also gonna invite you. I have control of my camera thing here. If you're able to, I'd love to have you on screen. Can you do it?
If I do, you might lose your life because I'm driving.
Oh no, no, no! I don't want to do that. No, 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 no. Let's not do that. We'll just keep it. Just say
I'm
you're like on a
currently in
spaceship or
New
something.
Mexico, I-10 West. I mean, what east? I'm heading toward
Okay,
Florida.
good, good. Well, we're not going to have that happen. Um, so yeah, you can be taken if, let's say, you're not driving and you're. I've had many people. I've had truck drivers and other people on highways that have seen what I call spaceships. They're definitely verifiable as that. So I know a lot of truck drivers that have experiences that travel West Coast and all this, and they see things that are definitely different. So you can be taken if you're, let's say, you're overnight at a truck stop and you're in a remote area out on the West Coast near the desert, hypothetically speaking, and you say, "Well, Commander, I was just like visited by these space beings, and they took me on their ship in the desert." So yeah, you can be taken. Tell us a little bit about yourself. I have a feeling you've had some experiences.
I have, and I tried to speak with you last year about the photo that I took.
Yeah,
And it was a short video, but it was in Mississippi, and there was definitely something there.
yeah,
I do have the photo. It's in one of my videos way down at the bottom. But
okay.
I was at home, and I have security cameras up because there's been a lot of phenomenon going on at my house while
Oh
I'm
wow,
away, or when I'm there. I have little orbs that follow me, and the camera picks it up. Um,
wow.
and then the other day, my interior light in the truck turned
Hmm.
like a purplish blue, and then the little orbs started dancing around my hand. I have video of that
Oh
also on
wow.
my video, but um, a, a few weeks ago, this is new for me.
Hmm. Hmm.
um, I was I went outside to let my dogs in the backyard. I was on my home time, and the sky kind of wobbled, and I was like, "Wait, this isn't right." Even the dogs noticed it.
They
And
noticed it,
so
yeah.
I, yeah, so I took some pictures and stuff showed up. Only one big, it looked like a planet or something.
Hmm.
Um, But that evening, I let them out again, and it felt off. Yeah, so I
Hmm.
brought them back in, and I went to bed. And I watched my cameras. I know I was taken somewhere, but I watched my
Yeah.
cameras, and I was still in bed. The oars were dancing around, and then the wall kind of pulsated.
The wall in your home pulsated.
Yes, I have it on video. I have it on my
Hmm.
security camera. So
Wow.
it's not like it's not happening because it is.
Hmm. Yeah.
But they showed there were like maybe 30 other people, like humans, but they didn't
Yeah.
look like humans. They were, we were all like an iridescent. It's so crazy. It looked kind of like scales, but it wasn't. It was
Yeah.
iridescent, kind of crystally, beautiful, reflective of the
Yeah.
inside of the ship, and then or, I don't know what it was. I can't say ship because I'm
I
not
think it
sure.
was. It probably was a ship. So let me go backwards here.
Hmm.
So everyone watching the show, listen to the story here because it's really interesting. So did the wall, like, let me we call it a rift, like when the wall opens up and you are taken on a spaceship, they can open the molecular structure of your wall. Did you go through the wall?
I didn't see myself go through the wall. I saw
Mhm.
on camera that the wall was pulsating. I didn't
You
know it
saw
was.
the wall was pulsating. Yeah.
Yeah, so and the only reason I noticed it is because a friend of mine, I sent it to her. I said, and now what's crazy is I woke up. I'm gonna say something. I hope it doesn't mess up the live. I
Oh,
woke up.
well, let's be careful on the wordage because
Well,
it
okay, I
could.
woke up with no clothing and I went to bed with clothing, and I
Okay.
watched the footage and I was like, I did not see not one spot, and when I
Hmm.
removed my garments.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know what happened there. And when
Now
I
you
woke up,
mentioned
go ahead.
you mentioned the thing that was dancing around you. That sounds like to me a fairy or a
Yes,
higher intelligence. Yeah,
yes,
fairy.
I get them a lot. I get them a lot on the camera, especially. They
Hmm.
sometimes they'll even whistle at the camera. They
Oh, really?
make a little noise. Yeah,
Oh, the fairies. Yeah, you have
yeah,
fairies. Yeah, I'm definitely
yeah.
getting that vibe.
Um, and there's like I can. My friends call me a seer. I'm not
Hmm.
patting myself on the back, and I don't like really talking about it because people think I'm a weirdo.
No,
But
you're not a weirdo. You're on encounters. You're doing good. Go ahead.
no, but I it was just a question. I was curious because I was like, I thought they took the whole body, but they
Hmm.
took my subconsciousness, and there were other people, and I kind of recognized that we all looked like them, but they were a little bit bigger.
Yeah, they're taller.
Yeah.
And can you tell me that as tall as they were, this is really interesting. Can you tell me what the when you were inside the ship, they again when you are like in bed, but they take you on the ship. So
Hmm.
your mind is trying to figure out what's going on here, but you are actually taken on a spaceship.
Yeah. So when I was there, though, I knew I was not at home anymore. I knew that I was
Hmm.
somewhere else, and I was comfortable with it. It's odd. And I
Yeah.
was told that um, their their gate, not to give them the keys, and their gateway is on the gateway. The gateway is on the Outlands, and then a bunch of letters that didn't make
Hmm.
sense. Not letters, words. And I
Hmm.
tried to sound them out when I woke up, and then
Yeah.
another. The word was imminent leash, whatever that
Hmm.
meant.
What did they mean by outlands? Can you tell me?
I don't know. I was so when I get stuff like that, I try to research it, but I got a lot of information that night, and it was the strangest. I've never had that, and I've
Yeah.
dealt with this type of stuff. My aunt was abducted. She was like really abducted. They were gone, her and her friend, for about a week back in the 50s,
Oh,
and
wow.
they were actually put right back on the front lawn in the same position. She doesn't like to talk about it, and then she had another encounter in Los Angeles, California, because we moved
Oh, wow.
Pennsylvania to Los Angeles. Other people did too. She took pictures, and others took pictures, but they were Polaroid. And the that day, the government reached out to them, to the people that were at the park, at the Hollywood Park,
Yeah.
and wanted to know if they got photos and whatnot to send them to them.
Really?
And she did. Yeah, she did send it, and she never received them back because they said they were going to give them back, but they never did.
Yeah, they wouldn't give them
So
back.
the
Yeah.
others, yeah, the others that were out there were probably six in the sky that they saw.
Hmm.
And the others that were there, they were going there every day trying to see it again. It never happened again.
Yeah. So these people that came that wanted the pictures, what did they look like?
They didn't come. They reached out by phone. And they
By
told
phone.
her that they were the federal government, and she was young, she was like in her 20s, and that's kind of scary,
Yeah.
to hear.
Yeah.
So,
What year was that when she was in her 20s?
oh,
1950s,
I don't.
60s?
She was 50s. In the 50s, she was 8.
Eight.
So, yeah, you got to do the math on that. I don't know.
So probably so when she did this, it's probably when she was older than 8, right?
Yeah, she was 20
Okay, so it had to be in the
when she got the
1960s.
pictures. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yep. So back then there was a thing called Project Blue Book, and they were supposedly going out and heard stories from people and collecting data or photos. I don't know if these people were, Project Blue Book or who they were, but how did they know about her?
I don't know. She didn't even know. It scared her.
Hmm.
It
Hmm.
I remember her telling the story, and she was terrified because they never sent the pictures back. And she said she always felt like somebody was
Yeah,
watching her.
yeah, they probably were I'm not. I'm sure not only were they watching her back then, they were watching anybody that was actually having contact or seeing these flying saucers or spaceships. Back, through that whole period, there was the Air Force was investigating this stuff called Project Blue Book. Now, it could have been part of that project, but the thing is that I probably would have never given them the pictures because she never got them back.
She didn't know. She was young and, in Hollywood and from Pennsylvania. And Pennsylvania is like she's a coal miner's granddaughter, and her
Yeah,
father was a steel mill worker. So, it's bigger city, more wild, and kind of
yeah,
scary.
it is. Now, when we talk about being taken, she was taken by these beings.
Yeah, it was two girls. It was her and her friend. They were playing in the front yard, and the entire neighborhood saw it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
And
and that
when
was
she
in
was taken
Pennsylvania.
in Pennsylvania, when she
Hmm.
was taken, did she tell you what they looked like?
Nope, nope.
No, no,
And
you have no
now,
idea.
now that she's older,
Hmm.
she won't even discuss it.
Really?
Yep.
It
It
really
it
affected her
affected her.
quite a
Yeah,
bit.
she's an introvert. She
Hmm.
writes
Hmm.
music, but she's very depressed, and
Oh, I'm
yeah.
sorry to hear that. So I get the feeling that I wish we knew more about what they looked like because then I can give a more definitive understanding. So I don't know if she was actually abducted or contacted by space beings that were good. I have no idea. That we'll
I
never know
don't
that.
either. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But it
That's
was, a lot of strange things have happened since I was a child. And this being that I saw in Delta, Mississippi, I saw once again. So that was in 2023. And
hmm. Hmm.
then before that, 2018.
Wow.
But when I was a child, I saw it a lot. And
Hmm.
I used to, because my brother was scared of it. He passed away, but I
Oh,
used
I'm
to
sorry to
tell
hear
it to
that.
leave my brother alone. My brother remembered that story, before he passed away. It's just odd. I don't know. And then all this stuff is this sky phenomenon's happening, and
Yeah.
they want to say it's this and that and the other. I don't believe that. I
No,
don't
don't
because I
and
am
don't
a
believe a word. And don't believe a word they're saying because, as I said before, the Pentagon secretary, press secretary, and the people in the press secretary for the president, they're all lying to the public regarding what's going on up in the sky. They all are.
also somebody said that it was a negative entity. Now this is not. The reason I know it well, it's
Hmm.
not a negative entity. It actually has been watching over me and my
Hmm.
brother. Um,
Right.
we've been through a lot, and it's always been there. So I know that people think it is, and it looks scary, but it is not. Yeah,
Yeah. So your experience, when can you describe what it looks like? Because I didn't catch someone saying sometimes people make contacts, they don't have your experience. You know your experience. Now I've had people on here that's like, Commander, I had negative this and that. You're not having that experience. You're
no,
having
no.
what appears you're having a very beautiful experience.
Yes, I believe
Yeah,
that.
I get that. I really do get that.
Um, can I jump back up here in like 15 minutes? I have to go
Yeah.
through the weight
Oh,
station.
absolutely. You have a lot to talk about. Yeah, absolutely. You
Okay,
know.
thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, just come into here and tell me we'll come back up. We'll bring you back up to talk more about. You have such an interesting story. We got to get the rest of it. I'll definitely. I'll bring you back up.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we're going to bring Angel Z back up as soon as she's ready to come back, and we're going to continue to hear her story. Now, Alien, we're going to bring you up for a short period. we well, the last night was different. We're going to bring Alien up for a few minutes, and then we're going to bring some other people up, and we're going to have a lot of folks discuss and share information, and we'll answer your questions. Alien,
Thanks,
good
Manda.
evening. Good morning. How are you
You
doing,
good?
brother?
I'm great. How
Good,
are you?
good. How are you doing since last night? That was a lot of work.
It was, but I'm grateful because now, like, I know what I have to do. I've been listening to the Christ conscious music. I've been
Oh,
listening to
good,
that. It
good.
really doesn't like it. It really doesn't like it. And
It
so
doesn't
today,
like it. They won't like it because it's going to destroy it.
yeah. And I've been trying to heal myself. You see, I was meditating today.
Yeah,
Don't mind the starter. It's because it's agitated. It's angry.
yeah,
It um wait. Let me put my camera on.
yeah. So everything I told you to do is going to destroy it. It's going to destroy itself because it doesn't like the Christ conscious music. The vibration is way higher than the thing is.
Yeah.
That living implant is going to be destroyed by the music.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that
And
beautiful? See?
and I was trying to take it out. I was meditating, and I don't normally have a tick, but it's because as soon as my dad came, and I told him what was going on. I said, Dad, you're not gonna believe what's going on. If I tell you, you're gonna think I'm crazy.
Yeah,
So I told him, and then he starts he starts he puts his hand on my head.
yeah,
All of a sudden, I start shaking. My
yeah,
my my head starts shaking, and I'm closing my eyes, and he starts praying. He says, "Jesus Christ," but in like our language.
yeah. And
He's
what happened?
um I, he just kept on praying for like an hour. Then the rest of my family joined in because they saw what was happening. They saw I was I was
Yeah,
I was I was like this was happening, but really intense.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're
It was
just you're showing us what happened, but you're not having it happen now. He's just moving his head. So what happened in the end result of that? Because this thing that I tried taking, I took out a lot of it, but it was really. I talked to my friend April, and we're going to work with you together to make sure there's nothing there. April and I together are going to work with you.
yeah. And then I think it hates the name of the Eternal Masters because I kept on I kept on saying Jesus Christ, Jesus. It hates it. That's he's agitated right now. Right.
Oh, so the entity right now is still in you, the
Yeah.
implant.
Yeah.
So when you say Jesus Christ is if you say Jesus Christ, I am Christ consciousness, Jesus Christ consciousness, the implant doesn't like it.
Yeah.
Are
Even
you
even
okay?
I'm okay, but it's he's angry
Well,
because
he's gonna be destroyed. So yeah, he's
yeah,
gonna be angry.
his time is almost up. Uh, Even if I say Krishna, he hates any other names.
Yeah,
I say
just
God.
keep. I'll tell you, brother. I'm not to keep you on long, but I'm glad you updated us. Just keep using the word Christ consciousness. I'm a Christed being of light, and that if he doesn't, if that lower vibrational ET implant doesn't like it, just keep saying it, man. Just keep saying it.
Okay, thank you,
All right,
Commander.
and you keep.
Yeah.
And I want you to come on Saturday night because April and I are going to. I've told April what's going on. We're going to totally destroy that thing.
Okay.
All right.
If I don't get out today because through the music and the chanting, the saying his name, then hopefully we
You
get
just keep
out on
saying it.
Saturday. On
Obviously,
Saturday.
the power of that word, I am a Christed being of light, you will
Mm-hmm.
destroy it just by that word. That vibration is way more powerful than that lower vibrational ET implant. You will destroy it.
100%. And one more thing, I think it's a can it be a physical implant because
It
it's
is a physical implant. Yeah, it is. It's physical. When they
oh
implanted you,
okay.
when the negative ETs implanted you, they put a living implant in your body.
Oh
That's
because
why. That's why it's able to
because
move around.
ah that explains why um I think it's trying to come out because it doesn't.
It's
I was chanting Jesus,
it,
Jesus, Jesus,
it's
Jesus.
trying to come out
Yeah, through my mouth.
through your
Right.
mouth.
Yeah, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus,
Okay.
Jesus.
Well,
But
okay, you keep saying it because it's obvious you definitely have more power than it does. Remember that you have more power than it does.
100%.
I want you to let me know what's happening. I'm concerned with what's going on right now. Okay, but keep saying it. You keep saying it and say it with intensity. And I'm telling you, once it
Jesus,
comes out, it will
Jesus,
be
Jesus,
destroyed.
Krishna, 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 Jesus, Jesus, Krishna,
Hey,
Krishna,
Crafter Girl Boutique, good to see you.
Krishna, Krishna,
Um,
Krishna, Krishna, Jesus,
I don't want
Jesus.
people to freak out here. We've been helping him. He had a negative ET living implant in his body. We got
Jesus,
most of it out, and this part of it they tend to move when the ETs put a living implant in the person's
Jesus,
body. It's
Jesus,
hard to get them right away
Jesus,
because it's moving around.
Jesus, 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 Jesus,
And I
Jesus,
think we can all help. You know, we can all collectively help here on the show.
Jesus,
Um,
Jesus,
like I
Jesus,
said, I love and I am concerned with every person in here. And
Jesus, Jesus,
oh my gosh,
Jesus,
you're gonna
Jesus.
be all right.
Yeah, yeah. Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, Jesus, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's right. That's absolutely true,
Jesus,
Casey.
Jesus, Jesus, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ.
So I'm gonna do one thing here while we're here, just for a minute, and then I'm gonna bring you down to continue doing what you're doing.
Uh-huh.
And please understand, keep saying that word. I'm just gonna use my hands for about 2 or 3 minutes. We're not gonna do what we did last night. It was a long night, and my energy level was really a lot of energy was used, but
Jesus, Jesus Christ.
he's got an implant, Angel Z, that is trying is it doesn't like the word of the Christ consciousness or
Krishna,
Jesus. The
Krishna,
lower vibrational ETs don't like that, and
Jesus,
so we're
Jesus,
going to do one thing here to help
Krishna,
them.
Krishna, Krishna, Jesus, Jesus,
And you don't even have to close your eyes. I'm just going to go and I'm going to put my energy there,
Jesus,
and the entity is not going to like me at all because I'm working from the Ashtar command levels.
Jesus Christ,
Okay,
Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, Jesus,
I'm going to
Jesus.
shoot light into in your neck area.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's in the neck area where it's trying to come out, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
So we're going to trap it, everybody, and I'm going to try to destroy it.
I need to.
You okay? You're going to be all right?
I need a container because I need to trap it, right?
Yeah, you definitely need to trap it. We're going to,
I got one. Go.
and KK, if you're not used to my show, this is not funny. I've been doing this, and KK is going to be kind of muted if you think this is a joke.
Jesus,
Let's see
Jesus,
here. And I
Jesus.
muted that person for the rest of the live.
Jesus, Jesus,
Hey, Hollywood.
Krishna, 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 Jesus, Jesus, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
I'm shooting energy now into the neck area.
Krishna, 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 Krishna,
Keep saying Jesus or Krishna, whatever you feel. Those two things.
Krishna, 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 Krishna.
And when you start feeling the energy, alien, tell me when you feel my energy coming through the neck.
Okay, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus,
I need
Jesus,
to know that.
Jesus,
And we can all
Jesus,
help out. We can all collectively do this for a couple of minutes.
Jesus, Jesus, Jesus Christ.
Okay. I'm now shooting energy into your neck area with my palm of my hands. What's happening here is real. We worked on them last night.
Jesus, Jesus,
You don't want to get an implant.
Jesus,
That
Jesus,
on, I think, on that one girl, you don't want to get an implant.
Jesus, 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 Jesus.
What we're going to do here for just a minute or two is try to force the implant out.
Jesus, Jesus. Hare Krishna.
Alien, do you feel the energy coming from me? I know you're focused.
I don't.
Are you all right?
I can't feel anything right now. Maybe because I'm
Okay.
moving.
Well, you're definitely. Yeah, I think.
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Jesus, 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 Jesus.
Yeah. So what we need you to do is to calm yourself down. I think it's calm yourself down. Calm yourself down, brother. You can say Jesus, Jesus, but
Jesus,
calm yourself down. We'll get.
Jesus, Jesus, Jesus.
He evidently wasn't that way last night. The thing he's been using the word Jesus, and the negative ET entity that which is a implant, they're calling a living implant, was put into him by negative ETs, or is actually doesn't like what he's saying, and it's a living implant. If you've never heard of a living implant, they do exist, and people have been abducted, have had them. I've had people on my show with implants that move around, and we destroyed them.
Krishna,
You know.
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna.
Yes, the lower vibrational ETs, that one girl, they put it in him, and
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Jesus, Jesus, Krishna, Krishna.
take time to breathe, brother. You got to take time to breathe. You got to take time to breathe. You got to breathe. Breathing is really important. So he's got to breathe, you know. And yeah, RK, my take is, yeah, I already know it was implanted in by negative ETs, and we worked on last night. I got one of the implants out, and there was another implant we've got most of it out. This part of the implant is what they call a living implant, people. So living implants put into your body, they're very sneaky. They can move around anywhere they want, and they're very quick. They don't want to be caught, because if they're caught and neutralized, they can be destroyed.
Keeps on going down to my feet.
Yeah, see?
He's trying to
This
hide.
thing is moving around. I'll tell you what we're going to do, and I'm going to tell April what's going on here when I talk to her. April and I are going to work on you, and we're going to get that living implant destroyed. We're going to destroy that implant.
Saturday?
Saturday night, we're on with the Ashtar Command Night. We will destroy that implant. April and I told her what's going on. We're going to come on here. She's going to be on live with me, and we're going to take that implant and destroy it. No, Michelle, I just talked to April today. I told her we're going to do this Saturday night.
Okay.
No, she hasn't been on with me yet. This is this weekend.
Sounds good.
Okay. I want you to make sure that you're breathing. Take time to breathe. Close your eyes. Take time to relax your body. Matter of fact, I'm going to have you go into Friends with Fairies live right now if you want to. Her name is Friends with Fairies 1111. I'm on my live here, so I can't do it. You go in there and introduce yourself to her and tell her who you are. Okay.
I went there earlier. I was there earlier. One of your them people, the people that you got that silenced the others when they Your
Hmm.
moderators, one of your moderators
Yeah,
sent
yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I
So
spoke to her earlier.
if you, she's off till okay. Wait till Saturday because we're gonna get rid of this thing and destroy it. Wait till Saturday on our Ashtar Command Night.
Mhm.
April and I will be on together. Okay, she's off now, so all right. So just
Oh,
relax, relax. We love you. Just relax,
mhm.
and you know, when you're taking those breaths, just mention the name of Jesus. And even if you want to say this to the negative implant, say Jesus is going to get you, and if it and it's not going to like that either.
This is gonna get.
So yeah, you know what I mean. So we'll help you, brother. I know you know we want to help you, and we will. All right.
100% believe that.
Okay. And let people know that right now you're not having convulsions or anything. You're actually trying to get rid of the implant,
I'm,
right?
I'm really trying to get rid of it. I'm really
He's
trying.
trying to get rid of the implants. So I told him
I
he's
don't. I
empowered to
don't
do
take.
that.
I don't have spasms. I don't take normally. You can check my
Okay.
videos. I don't take.
Okay.
I don't take this.
Okay. You know, we're here. We're here till one. So, you know, you stick around here. Don't go anywhere. You know, we definitely will get rid of that implant. Okay.
Okay, no problem. Okay.
You know, I know Minnie Nana says I don't agree to tell him to wait 2 days. That's not acceptable.
It's okay. He's tired. He
You know, I mean,
yesterday,
and
yesterday he
again,
worked on me for two hours.
I worked on him, Minnie
Hours.
Nana, for 2 hours yesterday. And
Exhausted,
if
it's
you were in
draining.
my shoes with the gift to do what I do, we got rid of a lot of stuff out of them, but this one implant is really very frustrating. And you know, can you hold on until Saturday?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can hold on,
You sure?
but I think you see my dad. Do you think my dad is a starseed as well? Because he touched me, then I started
Your dad probably is.
ticking.
The thing got the implant got upset with your father, correct?
Yes, I started ticking
Yeah, because
after.
your father has probably he's probably is a star seed.
So you think I, I, I signed up with him. Me and him
Yeah.
agreed to come down together. You think?
Mm. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think so. And if anyone wasn't watching last night, my shows are recorded. I spent almost 2 hours helping him last night over in the UK. Believe me, and
Jeez,
I did a lot of work. So
jeez,
trust me, I know him enough now that he's strong enough, and he's strong enough to do what he's doing. I told him what he needs to do to get rid of the implant out of his body, and he's empowered in the Christ consciousness. When I say that word, I'm talking from a non 3D understanding of Christ consciousness. He
Jesus,
is a Christ consciousness,
Jesus.
and yeah,
Appreciate it. Jesus, Jesus.
and he is a very strong person. So don't, you know, my friend here in England is a very, very strong person, and he will be okay. You know, the
I
thing
will.
is trying to stay in his body, the implant, and he's fighting it. And implants don't like that, you know, they don't like that. Let's see here.
Hey, Commander, do you want me off now? Because I can.
Yeah, we're gonna, but I'm gonna watch you. You're gonna be here, so don't go anywhere, you know.
Okay, no
And
problem.
just know that we love you, and I'm in control of my show here. I moderate my show. I created the show, and my consciousness is space consciousness. I came here from another planet, but I came here fully involved in the vibration of love and understanding. And if you are here, anybody here out in the world, hopefully you're in that vibration of love and understanding, because that's the key thing, you know, and that's important. So not only do I do talk show and talk about the videos and stuff like that, I do one extra thing that is not done, which is I help people. I help remove implants. I take them out. Most of the time I've been able to do that. This situation is very unique because dealing with a living implant in his body that is trying to refuse to, it wants to attach and stay there. So the ETs that put it in there created this implant that has a consciousness to it. And we're going to get rid of the implant. We promise
Mhm.
me. I promise you we will. I mean, not promise me.
I believe you.
I appreciate everybody here. So you stay here, brother. You know, if you need me, we're right here.
It's right.
Okay.
I feel that.
You feel it's right near your mouth?
Yeah, it's literally it's there.
It's right near your mouth.
Yeah. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Krishna. Jesus, 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 Jesus. Krishna, Krishna.
It's not a
Jesus.
matter of waiting. It's not a matter of waiting. It's a matter of, again, if people were on last night. Okay, so I actually agree. Tell him to sit down. He doesn't call.
Hare Krishna, Krishna, Jesus, 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 Jesus.
Are you sitting down or standing up?
Standing up.
Are you okay? What I need you to do, I think the standing up is the part of the thing. You need to be able to sit down. Can you sit down on a chair, like a comfortable chair?
Yeah.
Okay. 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 So yeah, you need to sit down. Standing up is, I think, part of the problem.
Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Krishna.
And as you're sitting down, you need to kind of relax your body. Take some deep breaths. You need to relax and get some breaths in there. You're going to the word I'm looking for, you're going to overstretch your body. And I don't mean stretch. You're going to stress out your body. That's what I'm trying to say. You're stressing out your body. You need to relax.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. You need to relax. You're going to stress out your body. We don't want them doing that. Yeah, Blue, you're right. Don't overexert. You can do this without doing that. Okay.
I think I can control it with my hands now. You see, when it goes to my feet, I take my finger, I go like that, and it comes back up.
Yeah, it's yeah. And the thing is, tell people you're not having like a seizure or anything, correct?
I'm not having a seizure. No way. No.
Okay.
I'm not having a seizure. I
All
promise
right.
you.
All right. So you're strong enough to be waiting for us to do this on Saturday. You think you
Yes.
can do that? Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not that we don't want to do anything tonight, folks. Believe me, I worked with him for almost 2 hours last night. If you weren't on the show watching, okay,
100%.
we're gonna get we're gonna get that implant out. We will get it out.
I think because I think I'm gonna try to get out. Like it's gonna get out before Saturday because it's
Okay.
right here.
If
It's right
if
here.
it gets out before Saturday, like I did, I empowered you with the ability to have control of the situation. You
Yeah.
took to heart what I taught you to do, and I do
Mhm.
teach people things here. And
Thank
so what
you.
you're going to end up doing is you might get it out before tomorrow morning, the way you're going.
Uh-huh.
But when you get it out, it has to be destroyed. Do you know
How
how
do
to
I
destroy
destroy it?
it?
No. How do I destroy it?
Well, first of all, you're going to put it in something to cap it in so it can't get out. You're going to lock in something like that. Let me see what that is.
It's a container.
What is that?
It's a
The container? Yeah, you
yeah.
got to get it into the container so it can't get out.
Okay.
Then we can destroy it. Then we can destroy it.
Okay.
All right, brother.
All right.
All right. I'll let you down.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. All right. And folks, we've been working. If you don't know the full story, can I get it out? Greta. Hey, Greta. So we spent almost 2 hours last night we got one implant out. And then we found out there was another implant hiding in the thigh area and his leg area. And this show is recorded. So you'll see what happened last night. If you haven't seen anything that I did last night, I spent a good amount of time helping this brother. And, you know, and so we're going to let's see who we got here. Okay, so we're going to, get some more interviews here too. And we are definitely if he doesn't get it out by Saturday and have it in that container, we're going to definitely get it out. We will. Well, it's not a spirit. It's an implant. It's an ET implant, a lower vibrational ET implant. When you take an implant out, and as long as you contain it in some sort of a jar or something, it cannot get out because it's a physical implant. It's still an implant. Um, and I remember somebody showed me an implant that I took out of her, and she put it in a container, in a plastic container. The thing couldn't get out. It was I did this last year. I had somebody. I removed an implant, and she put it in a plastic container, and she showed everybody on the live what it was. Marco Gonzalez says, I'm available for you live. Marco Gonzalez, let's see here. And if you want to come on live, yeah. Lucas Jackson. So remind me about that because it's been a really crazy day today in terms of serious news. You know, Kit Kat, you remember that? The woman that was on my show? We got the implant out of her and she put it in a plastic container. It couldn't go anywhere. Hey, Steve Ernest, that is a very good idea. On Saturday night, if that implant, if he gets it out before then, we'll still work on him. April and I will still do some scanning. So, and not just the implant, we're going to make sure that his body is healed with light energy. Yeah, Alicia, yeah, I know he wasn't like that yesterday. But his father did something, touched his head, and I guess his father talked about Christ, and the implant was getting agitated. Now, understand, there are implants that are just implants, they have no consciousness. The living implants that the ETs have created, when they get in the body, they can do anything they want. They move around and everything. Yeah, some of you remember. Who was the family member in the chat saying that? I'm not sure that was Hetty. Hey, Hetty. Let me see here. Yeah, I remember that. She was going to put it in her freezer. I told her that she needs to destroy it, to burn it. And I don't know if she did. I think she was going to do that, Kit Kat. I remember that was last year, you know? Christina Morris, happened, what do I think happened with Alien? Is that the question? We call it Jane's Design. Hey, Jane's Design. So we call that a living implant, which is way different than like a physical implant that has not got a consciousness. Karen, so if you have an implant, two things can potentially happen. It could be what we call the living implant or the non-living implant, which is just a monitoring device they put that the negative ETs put in you to keep track of where you are, and that those particular ETs over the last 70 years have done this. They will do an implant and they will abduct a human being, a man or woman or child, for whatever purposes. The way you'll know you have an implant, though, is you'll feel something that wasn't there in your arm before, or in your hand, or in your head, or in your neck. Then you'll know. If it feels like it's an artificial thing in your body, and and you've never had anything there before, that is a way of potentially knowing you have an implant. Yeah, they can jump. Leah, you're right. They can jump around your body yet be trapped in plastic. Well, if they're taken out of the body, they can't go back in the body if they're put in a confined, sealed thing, but they have to be destroyed. And Deanne, right. Well, it is. It's a negative low vibrational implant that negative ET is implanted on in this human being, and that's the thing that we have to destroy. Hey, Jackson, I felt like that last night after all the time. If I'm wrong, I hope he's okay. They're going to give me the technology and they just want me to know how it works. Autistic ADHD. Oh, okay, Cassie. Let's see. Lucas has a question. Is Christ upset? If Christ upsets them, then it's demons. Not always. No. No. Negative ETs don't like Christ either. The Zeta, the reptilians, they don't like the Christ. The Christ is a being of light. And so the low vibe ETs don't like Jesus Christ either because He's from the higher vibrations within the Ashtar command, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, I think Candy, he was probably as exhausted as I was last night. And I believe me, if you were watching me last night, I was doing 10,000%. And we did get a lot of stuff out, but this one little part of it, you know. Thank you, Chuck. No, George. They can't pass body to body. They have to be implanted by the negative ETs into the body. That can be done when the person's abducted in their sleep. That's how they usually do it for probably 99% of it. Karen, what's the question? Monica Phillips. So usually when people come on my show and say I've been abducted, they'll say, Commander, I have an implant in my arm that was never there before. There's something in my arm. It's stuck there. Usually when I scan the person, I can know if they have an implant, but I won't scan just anybody, because unless I know that they physically have been abducted, then there's no reason for me to scan them. If they have an implant from being taken, so Commander, I was taken the other night by these ETs with big heads or something, and they did something to my arm, and there's markings on that arm, typically that tells me they have something implanted in them. Good question, Monica. Jackson says, but I'm ridiculously intuitive with behaviors and ways of manipulating. Steven says, excuse me. And Kit Kat, my friend Kit Kat, yes, she said she would destroy it if you told her to. And I think I remember telling her to destroy it. This was last year we had a guest on. Sorry, Commander, you're too trusting. He took a lot of your time and ours. Kelly Sanders, last night? But in this case, I can read energy, and I'm absolutely certain he's going through what he's going through. It's just going to take, I think, myself in April to get rid of this thing. And Marco Gonzalez, let's see, Jane says, why does speaking of Christ upset it if it's not a demon? You don't have to, it doesn't have to be a demon. Lower vibrational ETs don't like this, they don't like the spiritual beings of light, like the Ashtar Command, the Palladians, the Arcturians. All the planets of higher vibrational levels are Christ conscious planets. Where this particular implant comes from is from a lower vibrational ET group that implanted it, and he's not the only one. If you read books about people that have been abducted, they'll talk about the implants, and some of these implants move around in the body. They get very sneaky. They've come to the point of their advancements to create implants that can move around in the body, almost have a consciousness, and but they're not demons. They're implants by lower vibrational ETs. A good question, Jane. We still don't know enough about all mysteries of life. Daniel, absolutely correct. We don't. Oh, you're welcome, Monica. Because of its vibrational frequency. Absolutely correct. Maybe they, Greys, have developed a new type of implant. That's exactly right, Cleo. They have an implant that they developed that can move around and has a little bit of a consciousness, just like AI is. We have this thing called AI, and it has sort of a consciousness. I don't like AI, but it exists and it can respond in words. So you can take AI and look at a negative implant as being its AI, so to speak. Oh, good. Let's see here. Does the COVID shot count as an implant because I still feel something in my body? Good question, Sandra. I'm not sure how to answer that about COVID. I'd have to ponder that, to be honest with you. You know, I really don't know. They might have, with COVID shots, I don't know that I can say that they implanted something in someone's body. I do know that the COVID shots were a liquid into the body, but I don't know. I don't think that can count as an implant in the way I'm talking implant. When I talk about implant, it's more uh, a negative lower vibrational ET does to a human being. Okay, let's see here. Craig says hi, says it's very close to having a DMN in you, right down to capturing it in a jar. Hey, Craig. Let's see. Starry down. You okay? Let's see. We got somebody in the queue. Yeah. Well, negative ETs, Peggy. Yeah, they're not positive. We've always mentioned that. And if you read any books from people like some of the well-known people that took out implants or dealt with people, Bud Hopkins, you know, you would find that the documented cases are all different. All the people that have ever been abducted that have been documented are all completely different, completely out there. Um, Let me see here. Whoops, that person. Let's see. I'm going to go back into my queue here. I think it's Syre, Syre. We're going to bring up this person. Well, I'm going to bring back up Angel Z first, and then we're going to bring up Syre second, and then we'll go from there. Because she wasn't finished with her story.
Hello. Hello.
Hey, Angel Z, welcome
I
back.
forget where I left off. Thank you very much.
Well, we're talking
I
about the tall beings and the fairies, because you definitely have fairies that were beautiful
Oh
colors.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, I
your
have them,
story's great.
and I have some video footage as well in my profile. Um, I have been a trucker for now 12 years, and I have mainly drove nights, and I know the difference in comets, meteors, stars, satellites. So I know the things that stand out are completely different. Last year, 2024, people were filming this thing going across the sky that looked like it was masked in a cloud. And I happened to catch it I think it was March. I pulled over to the side of the road and I was like, what in the heck? Because I could see the moon clearly. I was in Fort Stockton, Texas at the time, heading westbound.
Okay.
And it was around probably 11 o'clock at night, and I could see the stars clearly. This thing was masked in kind of a cloud, and I'm sure if you look up Texas sky or Texas sky phenomenon, it started appearing more. It came across the sky, and then it blew off these little circles, and then shot straight up in the sky.
Oh,
So
wow.
so I zoomed in on it. I tried everything I can to pull out any features. That was not a rocket. And people were like, "Oh, you don't know SpaceX and you know how they
Right. Yeah,
talk."
yeah,
And
yeah. Yeah.
I'm and I'm I'm a Libra, but and I avoid confrontation. But when stuff like that is said, I get into the confrontation with it.
Yeah, because you know what you're saying.
I
People are so
know.
programmed to believe everything is SpaceX now. I know I've watched a lot of videos on here, and I think one night there was a SpaceX thing, and these people were going crazy. Some of these people, oh, I got myself a UFO, but it was SpaceX because it has a little thing around it as it's going into space, and
Hmm.
you know it. But
Yeah,
what
you know
what
it.
you were saying is not.
No, no, yeah. I know the difference between SpaceX and Starlink, and what I'm seeing in the sky. That's totally different. It has amped up within the past 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what's up with that. So have my visions and dreams, and they're
Oh,
getting
wow.
very detailed. When I was a kid, my mother thought it was like of the devil. So she's not Catholic. Um, uh, and she brought in the Catholic Church. First, she brought some guy that I didn't know. I was 9, and then they brought in 4 more. She allowed 4 more men to come, and they lit
Mm-hmm.
incense. And my brothers told me I was asleep for like 8 days, and they were making fun of me because I peed myself. But I was 9 and asleep.
Yeah.
They put me to
Yeah.
sleep.
Yeah.
Um, we were doing a lot of things that were, when we're kids, you think you're just playing, but we didn't know that it was beyond that, and it scared
Mm-hmm.
her,
Mm-hmm.
I guess. And
Well.
um, that being that I was talking about is not a bad, he has been there. He's been there, or she. It's non-binary. I always call it a he, but that's just, it's easier for me to refer to.
Right.
About maybe 7 foot. My brothers are both like 6 foot, so it's taller than them, bigger than
So the
them.
space being was
And
about
normally,
7 feet tall, right?
yes, the one I saw in Delta, Mississippi.
Okay.
Um, and I was shy. Okay, so I'll tell you about that. It was 3 o'clock, maybe 3:30 in the morning. I was taking my half-hour break, and I went into this off-the-wall truck stop.
Hmm.
It was creepy. I would tell you, it was a creepy truck stop. Anyway, I have a Belgian Malinois. He watches over me at night. So I stopped for my half-hour break. I usually go and take a nap in the back. And he started low growling, which is an alarm for me. And I came up front and I said, "What's going on, radar?" And I'm
Yeah.
looking, and I don't know where he's looking because I'm looking out the front window and he's in the driver's seat. I don't know what he's looking at or where he's looking, but I notice him looking out.
Can you bring your volume up a little bit, or talk into the mic just a little bit
Can you
more?
hear me?
Yeah. Can you turn up the volume
Is
on the
that better?
phone? Yeah, it's a lot better. There you go.
Okay. I'm sorry.
You're good.
Anyway, I noticed he was looking out the driver's side window.
Yeah.
And I said, "Move out of the way." And I sat down. I didn't have my glasses on, so I popped my glasses on and I'm looking and I see something move across inside. I don't know what it was, like a store or something. I don't know. Um, and I was like, "Oh my God." So I grabbed my phone because, you don't want to be obvious, like hang your head out the window because I was
Right.
creeped out.
Right.
And I filmed the mirror and I was like, "What in the hell?" So I zoomed in. I was like, "Oh, hell no." Because it stood by, sorry for cursing, it stood by the doorway, and the height of the doorway is much taller than 6 feet, right?
Yeah.
So I started to record it, and then it tilted its head, and I tilted my head,
Hmm.
and I'm out of here. So I left. I mean, it was. I know it wasn't bad, but when you get startled, it's the fight
Yeah.
or flight that happens, and that's what what happened to me.
It's a
But it's
reaction. It's a natural
yeah,
human reaction. Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely.
and just recently, I feel like it was my subconscious because I saw the cameras. I was still in bed.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, and it is the same being. The thing is, their skin is reflective.
Yeah. So the
So it
skin.
was
So
reflecting.
the
The,
skin tone of the space being has reflective skin.
yes, it was reflecting the darkness. It
Interesting.
was not because they are light. They're like light, beautiful. And I know I sound
No, it sounds
out of here.
good. I mean, no, you don't. No, you're not nutty.
They, they,
On this show, no one's crazy and no one's nutty. Your story is very interesting.
So they showed me, they were talking, but not with their mouth. They didn't have facial features like we do. They had bigger eyes, like, I know people call them reptilian. These are not reptilians. They're not. The ones that I saw are not.
The one thing you saw, did they look like more Arcturians?
I don't know what any of them
Okay.
are.
So
I
you
just
say they're
got interested.
reflective. The reptilians would
Yes.
not have reflective skin. They would look like
Not.
reptilian. Yeah.
Yeah, these were not. They were more like light, like crystals. They looked,
Crystals.
yes, a beautiful iridescent crystal. They reflected the ship or whatever I was on, and my skin, when I looked down, my hair was the same as theirs, but I was smaller, like their skin color
Hmm.
or whatever it was. I don't know what it
So
was.
would you say,
And
like,
so
and
was
someone just said like
the
something that I think is true, possibly plasma? Does that, if you were looking at them, did they look like plasma beings,
yes,
reflective light?
a lot like that, a lot like
A
that.
plasma, like a plasma, like when I look at your picture of the fairy,
Yes, reflective light, like
yeah, that's a good point.
yes, and that fairy is actually inspired by them.
Yeah, I think
I try to
that
look for
person that
something that
said
looks
that, let's see who
similar
said that.
to them.
One of our viewers said this. Let me see here. Um, Not your cat. Very good, your cats. Like plasma, high state energy. I think you're right on the money, not your cat. Yeah, I think what you have is a plasma space being.
They did have bigger eyes. They didn't
Yeah,
have like a nose and a mouth, and they weren't
yeah,
speaking. Th- I could hear them in my head. It was. I've never. I mean, I've experienced a lot of strange stuff, but this was
yeah.
way different.
Interesting. Yeah, I've had people on the show that have had contact with what we call plasma tall beings, around 7, maybe 7.5 feet tall.
Yes, yeah, and even when I woke up, it, I felt like I was going to vomit. And I even like I saw myself waving to them. Okay, I guess you guys will be back. I was like, what
Yeah,
the heck? When I saw it on the video, I
yeah,
was like, oh my goodness, there's nobody
yeah.
there, Angel. So yeah, I just wanted to ask you because it's been making me nuts. And there were people there that I recognized, but they were
Yeah.
like kind of like still standing there, not getting a tour, and it wasn't necessary. And I was moving without moving. It was strange. It was
Well, because you're not in, you're going beyond human consciousness, so you're operating now in space consciousness when you're taken on the spaceship. So it's different. It's going to be a different vibration. So it's going to be kind of strange, and that's
mm-hmm.
natural. Absolutely.
And like even like I usually get this. I always get it. It's a high pitch frequency. It changes tones every now and then. And
Yeah.
no, it's not tinnitus because sometimes I hear music and it's not playing. And so what I started to do was I took those sounds and put them into a garage band and
Hmm. Oh
listening,
wow.
just being quiet, listening and piecing them together. And I don't know, it's helping a lot of people, and I didn't know that. I tried to make it as free as possible. The
Wow.
only way to get it up on
Yeah.
TikTok was I had to go through a distribution company, but I will hand those files out for free. That there's no
Oh
reason for
good.
them to be paid for because they're gifts. They were gifts
Yeah.
to me, so I will
Gift to
gift.
you. Yeah.
Hmm.
If you hear music,
Also,
that's a beautiful thing too. If you're hearing music, that's really a very
yeah,
beautiful thing. Do you hear like celestial music, or what kind of
I
music do you
hear
hear?
the yes, I hear it's like instrumental. A couple times I'll hear voices, and
Hmm.
then like choir kind of like not church music, that not that type of
Hmm.
it. It's different, and
Yeah.
it's a different tone. So I try to mock it into my because I wasn't really
Interesting.
interested in music, but
Yeah.
my aunt and them were. It's just that these sounds, I'm 51 years old, and the sounds started picking up and getting wild.
Oh wow.
So,
Interesting. Interesting. All right. Well, Angel Z, thanks for coming up here. I wanted to let you come back up and share the other half of your story.
thank you.
And if, and
Thank
if
you.
anything else happens, remember you're not crazy or nuts. Every time I have guests on the show for the last 3 years, I want people to realize the reason why we're here on Encounters is because now people are ready for it. And 30 years ago, maybe that kind of stuff would have been said, but
That's what I heard is now is the time. That is
now is the
another
time.
thing that they told me. Yes, it is so, and it's not just one voice. It comes from many, male and female.
Yeah, the space people are talking to you telepathically and say to you, now is the time, right?
Yes, and time is speeding up.
Yep.
When the fellow that was up here that you were healing,
Yes.
he said that, and it is what they told me. Time is
Yeah.
speeding up, and
Yeah.
then that gateway thing. I'm gonna do research because I don't know what it is. I
Hmm.
don't gateway. The gateway's on the Outlands. That's what they said.
And what is the Outlands? Can you describe what that
I
is for
have.
my viewers?
They just said it. I don't
And
know.
is the Outlands on our planet, or is that somewhere else?
I believe it is. It is on. It felt like on our planet.
It's on our planet. When you
Hmm.
find out what the Outlands are, I want to know, and our audience definitely wants to know for sure.
Yeah, I'm researching the gateway. What really does that mean? Is it a portal? What I don't understand that.
And
It's,
so it could be they're talking about Antarctica, but I don't know what the outlands are. I'm gonna have to do some
oh,
research on that.
that makes okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, they could be talking
Wow.
about Antarctica. Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
yeah.
I'm gonna research Antarctica because that would be like the flat Earth theory, Antarctica
Well, no,
surrounding
well,
a
Antarctica would not be
race.
like a flat Earth thing. It's on the round planet, which is Earth. Antarctica is a really interesting place because there are scientists in Antarctica in certain places. There's an area in Antarctica where there's no ice, where there's no snow or ice. It's where there are advanced civilizations that are in Antarctica, and they actually live there, and they've been there way before current humanity here on the surface existed. They've been there forever, but
Wow.
that's why the governments of the world don't really want people over there to explore Antarctica because there is civilizations that exist in various parts of Antarctica that are living, and they're not just ancient civilizations; they're actually living people that are advanced.
Okay, so what they showed me was a circle in the center, and then there were six others around it, overlapping
Hmm.
each other and overlapping the center circle.
Really interesting.
Yeah. In which I'm trying to do research on that too, because when I get these things, these types of messages, and this was a big one, that was not a dream. That this was
Yeah, no, I
totally
believe you.
different.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm stuck, and that's why I
Hmm.
wanted to come up here. Usually I'll just watch or pass through, but I know you
Yeah.
know a lot, and I spoke to you about the being
Yes.
last year, and I just never got around to coming back. I spoke on in chat, and you wanted me to,
Yeah.
so I threw it up there on my TikTok. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, there's these.
I'm really interested to see what you, and some people are asking how could they find your music? How could they find the music
It's well on YouTube. You listen
on
to it for
YouTube?
free on YouTube.
Oh,
There's a
okay. So what's
link
your
in
what's
my
your YouTube? You have a
bio.
link on your bio. Okay.
Yeah, I download it if you can, screen record it.
Hmm. Hmm.
I can't pass out files like that, but I do pass them out to my friends so that they can pass it forward to other people.
Yeah.
But I want it to be completely free, and YouTube is the best place to get free music.
So everyone go to Angel Z Fury to her profile, and you can go to her link on YouTube to hear her music. That's how you can hear her music. So if you
It's
want
not
to,
my music though. This is these are
well,
the
not your music, but
yeah, it's your guys' music. I'm supposed to, I
oh,
believe, make
it's
it for you guys, for
oh,
people.
so it's, yeah, it's music for the people. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
definitely gonna check that out later when I'm not on here. I'm gonna go to the link. Hey, Angel Z, thank you, and you're always
Thank you
welcome to
so
come up.
much.
If you have any more contacts with the space beings, I definitely want you to come up here. Any new information to share, don't be a stranger.
Okay, thank you so much. You have a good evening. Everybody
All
have a
right,
good
Angel Z,
evening.
everybody on Encounters.
Bye
All
bye.
right, all right, all right. There we go. Let's see here. Now let me go back in the queue here, and our next guest is going to be right here, as promised.
Hey,
Good evening, good morning, or good evening. Either way, welcome to the show.
thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I've been watching you for
Yeah,
a while.
and
Yeah.
how should I pronounce your name, or what's your
Syri.
Syri? Okay.
Syri. Yeah. Thank
And
you.
can I bring you on camera? Are you
I
presentable
can
to go
be.
on camera?
Sure.
Okay, let me just press my little thing here. And oops, let's see here. I just have to adjust. Oh, there you are, Syri. Good to have you with us on Encounters. And tell us where you are and tell us what you'd like to share with the audience here.
I'm in Indiana, and um, yeah, I wanted to share a little bit with, well, maybe a lot, but
Yeah, no, go ahead. This is what we're all about
I
here, disclosure.
well, I appreciate you holding the space here and doing this, holding down this timeline. I I guess it goes back to like fifth grade, and from that point, I've had quite a few sightings, encounters, psychic communication with various. I'd say at this point maybe three or four different types. The Greys, I think they steer clear of me. Some about them doesn't really jive with me. And but from early on, I my earliest memory was when I was in fifth grade, and I met like it was like a family reunion. It felt like,
Mm.
and I don't know if exactly who they were, but it feels like it was like a Pleiadian uh, family of sorts. But
Mm.
I met a couple individuals, and um, just regular looking people, just maybe, a little taller, more robust, and
Right. Then
uh,
our size.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And one gentleman claimed to be, 3,000 years old or something. He looked 35.
Wow. Now tell us
Yeah.
about that gentleman. Tell us, as you're telling the story, there's a lot to these. You're having these.
It was a while ago, but
Mhm.
he showed me around. I remember the craft was alive. It was conscious, and I was a kid, so I was kind of like, fun time,
One time.
exploration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And, I'm kind of getting more now, right now, picking up stuff that, um, I think he told me some things that helped me remember who I was, or something like that,
To
around it.
activate your consciousness. Yeah.
Yeah. And, I was able to take the helm too, which was very interesting, putting my hand in some liquid putty kind of liquid metal thing, and
Hmm.
it communicated to where I would like what I like to see is
Oh
what I was
wow.
asked.
Very
And
interesting.
that was really I didn't really know what happened at that point. Those memories came in years later. um, I knew something had gone, something happened, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
But and I've had uh, when I was 19, I had an experience where I had a family picnic, or friends and stuff, and we watched over probably 10 or 15 uh, undeniable lights that we were all watching over Vancouver. And
Oh wow.
I I lived in Washington at that point, and we were on a foothill, and we could see about probably 180, maybe 80 mile span,
Oh wow.
and the Rockies, the Canadian Rockies too. So
Hmm.
we could
Hmm.
see all this activity, and that would really kind of like was a wake up, because other people, you're checking with them all to see if they're seeing what you're seeing.
Yeah.
But it goes on from there. I lived in New York for a bit, and we were on the rooftops, and a lot of us saw some crazy things, like a blimp size, like a planet size thing setting on the horizon.
Now, when you say
Um,
New York City or New York State
yeah,
in general?
Manhattan.
Oh,
Yeah,
Manhattan. Okay. Yeah. There's a lot of
yeah.
stuff going on out in the skies there, believe
Oh,
it or not.
there's a lot of activity there.
Yeah, there is. People don't think it is, but there
I
is.
had a shadow, you know, sleep paralysis thing happen there. I had, I think I was being communicated with by uh, one of the Lizzies. I like calling them the Lizzies.
Other reptilians, you mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
comical in their
Yeah.
existence alone. Um, and then I moved to Colorado, and I've seen things there at the national park. that was a really interesting experience because there was another person with us. There's three of us, just a couple buddies, and two of us saw everything, and then my buddy Matt, and then his friend. Maybe it was his timing, but he didn't see a single thing, and there was a vortex over us with all these ships shooting up into it.
Wow, that must have been crazy. What year was that?
Yeah, that was, see, that was Rocky Mountain National Park up in Estes Park in 2003
Oh, wow.
or
A
four.
good couple of
No,
years ago, yeah.
four,
Yeah.
20
Wow.
years, yeah.
Interesting.
I'm trying to remember. There's been like, oh, what's that? Over my life where I've lost count in a sense, but um, that one, was really significant. Another one in Colorado. This is like I think in 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, 18 here.
Hmm.
I watched with a friend. We watched this light come over the Rockies, and it was extra bright for a single prop airplane coming over the top of the Rockies.
Hmm.
And then it
Hmm.
came down and it did a show. It just came right down to the field and morphed into a light being of sorts, and then went back up in the air and then turned back into a single prop airplane and had a hard time finding its sound. It was rather
That's
funny.
interesting. So when you talk
Yeah,
about that, that's interesting because we call those intelligence that comes from the sky that looks like it's a living ship. And in essence, it's not just
yeah.
a living ship, it's a conscious being that created a traveling vehicle to get where it is, way beyond our understanding of
It's really,
consciousness. It's amazing. It really
it would
is.
be my highest form. That would be pretty fun.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
zipping
yeah, we all
around like
have
that.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
wouldn't
yeah,
you
I'm
like to
sure
do
we
it?
do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you
Amazing.
know what? Kind of go fast forward a little bit. I'll here now in Indiana. I've had about three significant sightings out just off my back porch here. Um, More recently was about 2 months ago. The orbs doing their things, and there's a tiny video. It's not that good on my channel, but it's uh, it's the best I could do with my phone.
Yeah, you do the
But
best you can. You do
they're
definitely, yeah.
definitely communicating and
Hmm.
responding to my voice and all that.
Now, when you say
But
responding, are they giving you are they telepathically communicating with you,
yeah,
conscious
I
to
mean,
conscious?
yeah, it's fully there. The second I think of, hey, do a flashy light, and before I say
Hmm.
it, it does it, you
Hmm.
know. And so,
Wow.
yeah, these are uh, very interesting. I feel, in a sense, it's a return of our consciousness, and it's manifested in a physical way as our DNA is also becoming active.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I agree.
but the one I wanted to really ask you about, because I've
Hmm.
never had, I mean, this is the first. So I've been challenged with something that they call diabetes since I was 13,
Hmm.
and I it's something I recognize that I chose for you know the awareness,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
um, I'm coming to a point where I'm starting to heal it and reverse it, where I don't need to eat if I go low blood sugar, and I've had a couple moments where I didn't have insulin and my body somehow made it. I went,
Hmm.
okay. I use a lot of frequency sound herbs, all that stuff. I'm trying to do the best I can.
Hmm. Hmm.
But I'm challenged with sleep, so my days are kind of dreamlike and my nights are a little bit more daylight.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And,
yeah.
you know, and so I was asking for healing and clarity and, wholeness. I had this dream where I woke up lucid dreaming and I saw this cat person standing next to my bed
Hmm.
and black fur and gold inlays down the middle,
Hmm.
like Egyptian type garment
And was the cat
garments.
person tall? Were they tall?
Oh yeah, and it's
Yeah.
yeah. I was looking up and he had his hand on my chest, his right hand on my heart,
Hmm.
and I remember looking at his eyes. He was looking down at my body, and they were like glowing yellow.
Yeah, those
Pretty
were one of
intense.
my. It was Illyrian. Illyrians are
Yeah,
very beautiful space people. They have a
that's what I
cat-like
heard.
face, the men and women, and so they are very beautiful. Yeah, that was
Yeah, it was
Illyrian.
something to see. I think it was more in awe with this uh, just intricities and beauty and just.
Yeah,
And then of course I kind of came to my ego crept up and was like, "Are you safe?" And I woke up and my cat was sitting there with his paw on my chest.
really.
And yeah, my cat Ozzy, and he's black and white, and
Oh,
he
beautiful,
snapped out
beautiful.
of it too. Like he
Oh,
looked at me like, "What the hell am I doing here?" And he didn't usually like coming up on the bed when we're sleeping, you know. And so yeah, that was I felt something shifted, something changed for
wow.
a lot of things.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was Illyrian. Yeah, that was Illyrian visiting you.
What do you think was happening though? What was
Uh, well, the Lyrian. Well, if they're talking about the Lyrian, and when did this happen?
this is about now maybe 6 months ago?
6 months ago.
Mm,
Yeah, like things are really getting crazy. So,
yeah.
what I think is happening, you have multiple connections. As I'm listening to your story, you have a lot of star connections off planet. And it could be, I don't know if it's the music, your music obviously has something to do with it, but you are what we call a star seed. You know what a star seed is, correct or no?
I've heard the term. Yeah.
Okay, so you
Yeah.
are basically, sorry, a star seed, and what that means is you're human. You create music. You love music, but you come from the stars. You came from somewhere else. You came from in this human body. You came here to experience Earth, but you're not from Earth. You have a bodysuit. We call it the human bodysuit. I have one. You have one. Everybody here has one. But you, the beautiful part is you've had all these different experiences with the beings of light that came and they came into a light being form and then went back to a different form. Then you have the Lyrans, who are men and women. They're very, very peaceful. They work in Christ
Mm.
consciousness. You have those connections naturally. Some people would, say, "Well, how? I wish I could do that." Because some people just are not at that conscious level you are. You're at a conscious
There's a
level that
pros and cons list
there
attached to
could
it.
be, it could be, yes, absolutely,
This
absolutely.
is at times this place is odd, very very strange
Yeah,
place at
yeah,
times.
and it will be because you're having a different experience than a person down the street who's got a newspaper in the hand from the supermarket, and you're having these weird experiences, and they're like reading what's going on in the world today in the newspaper, when in fact what you're doing is you're elevated in a state of consciousness where you're going to have some of these experiences be kind of strange to the brain, but you internally are having also very beautiful spiritual experiences through
It's a
your journey.
playground, yeah.
It really is. It really is a
It
playground.
is.
Playground. I think that because we're getting close to contact, individuals. I always tell people on my show, individuals are having contact, and I don't know who they are. They're all over the world. Some of them might be on TikTok. Some of them might live in a village without a cell phone. There are people that are having visitations with space people of different types that they're connected to, and I think you have connections to more than one higher vibrational level of intelligence from your stories, and that's a beautiful thing. So my clarity for
Mm.
you is that you're doing something very, very important, and the music you create operates on a frequency, on a vibrational frequency. I love
Mm.
music, so I don't play music. I mean, I play it on the radio,
It
but
does a
I play
lot.
usually like there's a lot of I listen to like for me higher vibrational ambient music for
Yeah,
meditation purposes.
that's
So
pretty much
yeah,
the cats listen to it.
the cats listen to it, right? So you are a beautiful soul because you're having these, as we're listening to your story, you're having this thing with Illyrian and the other, as I listen to intently to
Oh,
every part of your
I'm,
story,
do
it's
you
amazing.
are you picking up on what was being done? I felt like it was had a purpose at least, like what it was trying to do
When the
with me.
Illyrian was
Yeah,
visiting you,
yeah.
yeah, when it touched you, it was doing something to help you remember certain things. The Illyrians are very, very spiritual beings. They are Christed beings of light, the Illyrians. So when Illyrian is visiting you, Um, all you have to do, have you had any more contact months later with Delirium?
No, but a higher bond with my cat though. It's
with
crazy.
your
That
cat.
cat, he
Well,
loves me
yeah,
so
you're
much.
the cat,
I love
yeah,
him too.
has that. I have a
Yeah,
cat too. Her name is Missy. She's sleeping right now. So
yeah.
that love for
And
cats.
well, I think changes in my own life though, like maybe a
Hmm.
permission slip of sorts was like subconsciously snuck in or something.
Yeah, and one of my viewers says Susan's right. You know, basically what they're doing is activating you in your whole physical body. That Lyrian probably activated you.
Abilities activated. Okay.
Abilities
Yeah, I
activated,
started
right?
to sing again, and I mean, I've always sang, but kind of did it on my own or did a show here and there. But
Yeah,
that,
yeah. That
yeah,
so you're
a
going
lot
to
of
find more
things.
things happening as we get close into this year more and more. I will say, and again, I'm not psychic. Well, maybe I am psychic, but I'm not. I never really think about it. But you will have actually more things happening to you in a positive way as you journey on through 2025, and you're going to start having more contact. I would say to you this: when you before going to sleep, if you remember what the Lyrian looked like
Hmm.
in telepathic communications, you can do this. And one of the things I teach people in my classes when I do them during the warm weather is to use telepathy. Telepathy is something that is natural to the human mind, but most people don't use it, you know. But you do
Okay.
have that ability. So when you want to make contact with Delirium, did you get a name? Did Delirium tell you what their name was?
It start with an S, I think. I can't remember though.
Okay. So here's what you do. When you go to sleep tonight, to start tonight, your cosmic homework from the show here from me,
I'm right. I
it
got a
doesn't mean it's
pencil.
it doesn't mean it's going to happen like Syrie. It's going to happen like right away.
I know
It's
it's a
going,
proper
but
practice practice
it'll
thing.
be practice. But I do believe if you go through your telepathic communications and ask for the space being from the Lyrian to reconnect with you, you would like to communicate. And first thing I want to say, I'd love to reconnect with you. Thank you for visiting me. Can you tell me, who you are, where, and are we going to have a communication relationship? Will I be meeting more of your civilization? You can ask all these really interesting questions
Okay.
through telepathy and keep a journal. Keep a journal. And if you get a response and they come and visit you again, um, I think more
Jotting
things are
it.
going to happen for you. And I think at some point, the Lyrian might take you on their spaceship. Yeah, I'm getting that right now. I
10,
think, give me a
10
moment.
4.
If you watch my show for 3 years, I get things for people and I talk to them. I think they're going
I
to be
see it
going on
come
a,
through at times. I trust it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, you're going to be going on a Lyrian spaceship. I don't have a time frame for that, but you're being activated and you're going to go on one of their spaceships with the Lyrian person
Yeah.
being. You're going to meet other people on their spaceship.
That's that I know here.
No, these are going to be people, Lyrians and other space people that are. Some of them don't look like the Lyrians. They are human looking. Some are a lot of Lyrians, but you will know
Wow.
when you're sleeping. At one point, when you're communicating telepathically, I do believe you're going to have at some point before 2026 on an individual connection. The If you use the telepathy, you will actually be able to. They'll initiate a point where they feel they can bring you on their ship.
And I gotta. How do you spell Lyrian?
Lyrian, Lyran.
Oh, that's okay. I was just
Oh
saying
yeah,
it different.
Lyran.
I was saying Lyran.
Yeah,
I
it's so
I
it's
I'm compelled to share
it's like
one.
Lyran. Yeah, it's yeah.
I'll do that. That's I know that there's that state right before you go to sleep too. That's probably best
Yeah,
to recite some of those um, communications.
yeah, absolutely.
Speaking of communications, I about I don't know, maybe it was a year ago now or so, but
Yeah,
I had seen a movie that moved me in a great way. Um, it was Sounds of Freedom, and um, I had a prayer, and I asked by all means that we save and preserve the sacred innocence of our planet. And that would start
Hmm.
with our young ones, our children, right? And I imagined a fleet, and I put a number on it, and it was 500 million. And I sobbed over it. And I wonder if I had anything to do with what's happening. And I know that's
Yeah.
crazy to ask. And it would be, I'm trying my best to keep the ego from sliding in and claiming it. But it's an experience that I had. And I guess I don't need to know, but I guess I wanted to share it at least.
Yeah, I'm glad you did. I'm just really excited for you because I keep tuning into your consciousness, and they're waiting for you to. He's waiting for you. The Lyrian are waiting for you to reconnect with them telepathically. They initiated the contact. Now they're waiting for you to return the contact.
That must be why I was driven to talk to you too. And also, I really appreciate what you do here.
Oh, thank you so much. You know,
Man, you're holding the
we've been in.
torch.
I'm holding the torch. I've outlasted a lot of people in the field of ufology on here. The 3 years I've been
Mhm.
here, people have come and gone, but I've been very dedicated to this show, and I've been on radio for 22 years now on NPR radio, but I've been a contactee myself. So I'm a different kind of talk show host because I've had contact with the space people once, and I saw them in a cul-de-sac. And as a kid, I'm just a kid. I didn't know anything about Ashtar Command or anything. I mean, I just had my thing happen and UFO sightings through the decades. And I've been in media for a long time. So
Okay.
I saw a void here on TikTok and I decided to see what I wanted to do. And I said, someone's got to start an actual real talk show on here. That's a talk show, not just people yelling at each other about UFOs.
I mean,
And, so that I've been here 3 years. I've been on here most nights. Sometimes I'll take a night off. But I'm usually here nightly at 11 o'clock Eastern.
what dedication. My gosh.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, I wanted to ask you about, I picked up, sometimes I'll pick things up and then I'll read about it or it'll concur or align somehow. But something that with all the orbs and how they're all lining up, and especially I found it unique that people are having them follow them. And they're unique to their experience, almost as if, like an individual like you and I, we're going to appear differently, right?
Yeah.
And I picked up maybe it's my imagination, but that we're actually, because we're crystalline beings and we've raised our consciousness to a new level where we've opened the spectrum of light, we can see more. So we're
Mm-hmm.
seeing ourselves, in a
Mm-hmm.
sense. These orbs are a reflection of our higher consciousness. And it's also integral to our placement over the ley lines of the planet because we're also repairing something underground, like the crystalline body of Earth.
Yeah.
Am I onto something here?
Yeah, you are. I mean, we are actually healing the planet. We've had people on the surface of the planet in power structures that have done things that are not good to the earth and to our oceans. We had negative ETs with the government operate with some
They're
technology that
removed, right? They're gone.
we're getting rid of them. Yeah, they've
Yeah, in
been
the
trying to open
process.
portals, the negative ETs. The Ashtar Command has been closing the portals that they opened, and they've been trying to give the secret government technology that would mess things up in our waters, in our oceans. And a Saturday night, when my friend April and I are on together, um, you're going to learn about what's been going on and what the positive space people have been doing to stop the negative ETs from preventing contact.
Mhm.
And there's a lot going on, really quite a bit.
Lot. Yeah. Well, that's
Well,
good to hear.
Sairi, I want
I
to thank you
appreciate you
so
having
much,
me.
brother.
Thank you. Thank you.
Your
Thank you.
story was excellent. And if anything, and let me know what happens with the Lurin in terms of
I'm
contact.
gonna pursue it. I'm just curious, it's a playground. So
Yeah, it is. Cosmically speaking, the space is everywhere.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right,
thank you.
brother. Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
it.
I
Thank you,
appreciate
brother.
you. All right.
Yeah.
Another good interview here. Let me bring him down. And let's see. Where's the person with the sightings that just I saw somebody here? I'm going to go backwards and I'll see them. Who was that person? I just going down my list here. Uh, Kathy Jordan. Let me see if I can find her. Oh, there she is. Kathy Jordan, we're going to bring you up. Is it Kate Jordan? Ken Jordy? Kath Jordy. Kath Jordy, if you're still here, you said you had multiple UFO sightings. I'd like to hear about that if they're here. And I want to thank Syrie for being on here. And let me see here. We have Steve. Okay, we'll bring Steve up. That other person who had the UFO, multiple UFO sightings, if you're still there, we'd like to bring you up too. And we're almost at 100,000. It's 82.1 right now. I need everybody to tap. Please share, tap. If you're not following the show, please follow on my bio. And also my YouTube channel is a link on my YouTube channel right on my bio. So please do that. You'll be able to watch all the shows. Steven, welcome to the show.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for taking me.
Yeah, absolutely. What's happening out that way?
Uh, well, um, well, I mean, I've seen some stuff, but it's nothing like I've seen in the past. But I have seen some phenomena, obviously, like these orbs activity. It's
Mm-hmm.
not like the East Coast, but I have been seeing some stuff. But I wanted to share with you some things because, like, basically, I spoke with you one time a long
Yeah.
time ago. And I was mentioning to you how I'd seen UFOs and stuff. And like real up close, I saw them. Um, but yeah, it was like I had never read anything about it, or I wasn't, intellectually processing it. But this is back in like 2019, um, or so, and
And
it
what people are
was.
asking, what state are you in? Some people want to know what state that was in when
Well,
you said it
currently
was
I'm in Utah, but at the
Utah,
time that I saw UFOs, that was outside of Barstow, California.
Barstow.
You know,
Okay,
I
yeah.
was just doing nature walks like in the night because I had been dealing with a lot of spiritual stuff and it was like literally not leaving me alone. And it wasn't all a bad experience, all a good experience, but it was like prodding me to just literally like I was doing some work. Um, in the desert, and it just basically was making me walk around in the night. And I
Oh
saw
wow.
a lot of stuff at that time, and I wasn't on any drugs or anything, you know what I mean? Like tweaking out, like all
Right.
like hallucinating, like out in the desert.
Right.
I was just sober.
You're sober.
Um, but I did see some UFOs, and I saw them like hovering over the ground. And there was like uh, anti-gravity distortion fields around them. And at first,
Oh
I
wow.
couldn't even tell that they were like, I couldn't tell if, if I was like tripping out at first. I was like, what and then so
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
kind of like rub your eyes a bit to make sure that what you're seeing is because it looks really surreal. And then I noticed that the plants were passing underneath it. It didn't make a sound. They were
Hmm.
slowly spinning, like so they're like like dudes in NASA, like they're floating around in a space station,
Yeah, yeah,
and they'll
yeah.
take an object and like spin it, and it will just
Mm-hmm.
keep spinning. Like it was like ever so slowly spinning, but not making a sound. And there was a few different types, and I've seen them, up higher, and but that was at a time like that was back in 2019, and I had a lot of
Yeah.
personal stuff going on, and I've
So
had
someone's asking,
yeah.
Candy Leon is asking you, how far away were they from you when you were seeing them? How far away from
Um,
you?
yeah, I actually had like it was a personal experience. I mean, I never got on and I wasn't missing time. So I didn't like, but they were pretty close. They were close enough for me to see like some of the details underneath. I don't know how many feet, but it was within 100 feet, you know.
Wow.
It was pretty close, and I could see I don't know. That was a while ago, and
Yeah.
some of them were more shaped like a dish.
Mm-hmm.
Some were kind of more like bell-like, and then I saw another one that was kind of like an upside down pyramid, except it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't completely pointed on the bottom, and they had kind of like little wings coming off on the top.
Oh,
It was just
interesting.
like a
Wow.
completely different thing.
Yeah.
And but that was a rare time in my life that I saw stuff like that. And then after that happened, then it was like I saw like that stuff came to an end, and I have my theories, you know, and the orb thing started happening,
Mm-hmm.
and so basically uh I haven't been commenting a lot on your thing because I've just been just trying to listen, and I don't want to violate anyone's consciousness. But when
Right. Of
TikTok
course.
got shut down, and I was like, dude, I should have like said something. And one of the things too is I don't want to make people uncomfortable because I've experienced good and bad. And I also have experienced the realization that not only is it above, but it's below, it's in the ground. And it's not just like having extraterrestrial like technology to bore holes through the ground, or even like a nuclear, like fucking like underground, like high technological vehicle, but it's even just the fact that we're dealing with solar light beings that have the ability to literally create orbs. Like they can go
Yeah.
up and down in dimensionality, and
Yeah.
they can literally create tunnels through the ground. Like, they don't need a vehicle to like bore
Right.
holes through the ground and
And
to create
we're
like,
talking,
yeah,
Stephen, about
yeah,
a really higher vibration, very high vibration, way beyond human comprehension. And so for a human being who doesn't know this, they say, "What is he talking about?" But I do know what you're talking about, and a lot of our viewers do. Thank God. We're talking about a very high vibrational level. When we talk about above and below, you know, it's a vibrational shift from a third dimensional reality to a completely different vibrational frequency that you're talking about when you're talking about this, and it's real.
uh-huh, yeah, it's pretty overwhelming. And so Bible, s- um, I was raised with a biblical background, and it's a long story, but I've since then gone and experienced a lot of personal things
Hmm.
directly, and I've also started, after all this spiritual stuff really started kicking off, I started doing religion studies, studying various different world religions, and it made a whole lot more sense
Hmm. Hmm.
of things, to understand it from different angles and to make sense of the different deities that even the Bible mentions, and
Yeah.
what's going on, like who's like Ishtar, Inanna, Asherah, Baal, like I think going into like Hinduism with like Vishnu and all of his incarnations, and
Hmm.
I think going into various Norse mythology. Did you know that the icy land that the earth started in Norse mythology in the icy lands of Nephilim, where Nephilim met Muspelheim, the land of fire. Okay? And this is a long story, but Nephilim is like the same exact but different spelling as like they say the giants Nephilim came, and
Right.
it's like, where did
The
the
giant beings.
name Nephilim come from? Well, look into Norse mythology when it says the icy land of Nephilim.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
that's like a
Hmm.
boom. Like when you start
Yeah.
researching and understanding like this like thing, like it just, there's a lot of things that connect the dots and makes a lot more sense of
Mm.
things. But anyways, that's beside the point. I don't want to sidetrack because that's a whole
Right.
big other topic.
Right.
But
Right.
basically what I was going to go to is basically it's like uh, yeah, I was raised with a biblical background, and I totally lost my train of thought. Like my
That's
heart's
okay.
going all fast
Okay.
because I got like this whole public thing going on. Um, And basically, it's like, um, I lost my train of thought. Anyways, yeah, they're talking about solar light beings, angels. And like, I swear to God, like, the most of the world would lock you up in a mental institution if you talked about this stuff. And they made it very clear that they go up and down in dimensionality. And various religions across the entire planet talk about these same things. And so that's something you gotta just lie down, like, right then and there and understand that, like, this is not like something that's like a new topic. This is something very old. And like, it's of supreme importance. And there's also, it mentions in the Bible that there's a war in the heavens. And the thing is about this is it's not just like Greys versus like Nordic looking like Pleiadians and stuff. It's like it's a lot more complicated than that. And that's why in the New Testament it says like for even Satan masquerades as an angel of light and things like this. And so the thing is I don't want to get into religion and stuff,
We don't.
so I'll
We
just
don't
stop
do
there,
religion at
you
all.
know,
We don't
but
get into religion at all
I
here.
just want to tell you that it's like that there is really literally a thing going on. And I also want to get into something. I want to share with you a background thing because someone mentioned COVID, and I just want to share with you a personal experience because this was something that literally happened to me. Because what I also experienced too is by realizing more and more, like as these spirits were coming into my life and I was dealing with a battle with this stuff, I also realized that they had the ability to enter in through portals, like the ears especially is a hotspot. And they have the ability, and I've been hit before by like a lot of things. Like you could literally feel like what feels like little tiny like things that you get into your ears. And I was working as a baker once, and this was, you know, I was a hobo living on my bicycle, you know, in the California woods. I moved, and I was, you know, riding my bike to work and working as a baker. It was a funny period of my life. But this one time, I mean, this wasn't anything new, but I was getting pounded in my ears, and I was getting spiritually attacked, like hardcore. And you know, I have a lot of people talk about like V2K, you know, this voice to skull phenomenon. A lot of people talk like this. And, you know, so I'm one of those people that has sort of this telepathic ability, you know, with different things. And so I knew for sure it was 100% a psychic attack. And so I was pretty upset with them, and I was putting my hands over my ears and, you know, like cursing them and all these sort of things. And, but anyways, you know, I just got pounded, and it was like just totally all this stuff I could feel like
Mm-hmm.
feeding into my ears.
Mm-hmm.
I rode my bike to work, but I started developing a raging migraine. I mean, it felt like shrapnel was filling my head up, and it was so painful, and I was so much pain. And I went to work anyways because I was just like, I was holding it down, and I went and I just was doing my baking thing like in the middle of the night. I got through it, but I was still getting psychically attacked the whole time, and I just kept getting hit. And it started to get this really super intense pain in my heart, and it felt like I was going to have a heart attack. And I was starting to get concerned, but I was just toughing it out, pulling through. Still in this existential battle. It went to my lungs. I don't know if it was because my lungs were trying to expel it. But anyways, long story short, finally the morning comes around. I'm beat down. I'm like, what the hell? My boss came in, and I'm like, I tell her, hey, I don't feel good. And she looked at me and she's like, you probably have COVID. Like, get out of here. Like, I don't want you making other people sick. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry. And she literally ran me off. That ended up, she gave me a little COVID tester thing, you know? And I ended up taking off on my bike. I went over towards the hospital later too, and I got another backup. I ended up testing positive for COVID right then and there. I was feeling totally fine before that, mind you. I got psychically pounded in my ears. I got tons of pain in my head, in my heart, my lungs, and I tested for COVID like wham bammy. Other people that I worked with later, one of them, well, it just started a chain reaction. I later went to, okay, here's the other part of it, and I'll let you go so I don't hold down your program.
Right.
I was like about a week earlier than that. And this is why I don't mention this stuff, because I don't want people flipping out. I don't want to violate people's consciousness. But I was hanging out in the woods, low altitude grids of chemtrails. And I understand that a lot of people think that everything's chemtrails and a lot of it is contrails, but it also exists, that chemtrails really do exist. So it was like low altitude, grid of chemtrails, just like moving like clouds coming, almost like foggy. And I'm like, this is intense. I took pictures of it and whatever. This lady that I met not too long before it, she was staying at like another town, which was a few miles up the way where they started. And she sent me pictures and it's like, can you believe this? And so she sent me pictures of right beneath them. And so I was like, I sent her pictures back. I was like, yeah, like seriously. Well, guess what? The next day, she and her friend got COVID. And so, like, it was about a week later, but I got pounded in my head. I got COVID. And later, when I went to the hospital and I asked the hospital, I was like, has there been a spike of COVID around? And they said, yeah, there has been a spike of COVID. So I was like, dude, like, so I don't want to start a big conspiracy thing.
Right. Well, we don't.
But
Yeah, I don't get into that part.
yeah, I know, like, because I value people's mental health. And, but someone mentioned the vaccine thing, and I've seen like the vaccine, like the Pfizer vaccine under a microscope,
Yeah.
where as long as there's electromagnetic frequencies, they were like forming things. But what I just want to say to them and assure them is that other people that never got vaccines have been hit by some stuff as well. So like,
Yeah.
you're not the
All right.
only ones out there that have got some stuff in you, man. This whole world is like affected by something. And I just know that it's connected to something so much bigger, and I got hope too. But yeah, there's a lot of we've been going through some strange times, and now that all these orbs are showing up, I'm
Yeah.
like, you know,
We're gonna
I've
have.
like,
We're getting ready for contact. That's why That's why the government's aren't saying anything. Well, okay, Stephen, I want to thank you, man, for being here,
yeah.
and I appreciate you coming back up on the show. Everybody, Stephen, thank you very much. Let me do
Sorry
this
if I
here.
just talked never
No,
endingly for like 10 minutes, but
no,
I just
you're
had some
good.
stuff
You're good.
inside and I've got a whole lot more, but thank you for accepting me and I appreciate it. And
Yeah.
by the way, before when I mentioned that, I said, oh, you can't put a spirit in a container. Dude,
Yeah.
when I used to put wooden earplugs in my ears, then I put like big headphones over that, and I put my hands over that, and I went into a basement and I huddled down, and like they would still find little nooks and crannies and get
Yeah,
in
but
there.
but I understand
I
there's a
was
difference
like,
between
yeah,
spirits and ET implants. Those can be contained. I had a guest on
cool.
last year, and we got the implant out. She showed it to us. She put it in the thing. She went outside away from the house and she burned the thing. And that's different than a spirit. People have to understand a spirit and an ET implant are two separate things. They're not the same. All right, Steve, I'm gonna let you go, man.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank
Hey,
you so
thanks so
much.
much, man, for
Excuse me.
you're
I didn't mean
welcome.
pessimistic by that. I just meant like,
Right.
anyways, the
I got
microscope
you.
is
All right.
difficult.
All
Okay,
right.
thank you so much.
I'm going to bring, what's her, see, and now we're going to bring this person up here. Let me see here, hopefully. Inky Winky, if you're still here. And our next guest on Encounters, good evening.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm amazing. I don't
And
know.
where are you located?
Atlanta, Georgia.
Ah, Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome to Encounters, and I'm glad to have you with us on our popular show here. Tell us about what you want to share.
It's a pleasure to be here. I don't know if I can turn the camera on.
Not yet. How many followers do you have? Let me see here. You're
I'm
not there
very,
yet.
very
When you
small.
get to 300, you'll be able to go on camera.
You said when I get to what?
300 followers, you'll be able to go on camera. So everybody can follow you now. So I'm just everybody follow her, and we can get her on camera eventually.
Oh,
But go
okay.
ahead, tell us your
So
story.
I'm like a medium brown skin woman. I'm not like too dark, but um, I don't necessarily know where to start from. But
Okay, so go ahead. I was gonna say start from like when you first had, like if you were being if you were being contacted by ETs. Let's
okay,
start from that point.
okay. So I don't really want to take up like too much time, but I really have like a few important things that I feel like I don't know. I just like this page scrolled past my algorithm, and I'm not necessarily on TikTok, but the things that I go through are things that I normally just only closely express
Hmm.
to my family, to my mother, and to my sisters. So I will definitely start off with the fact that as a baby, 3 months, it's just like, oh, okay. My mom's like, you said God, God, God. And I was like, okay. Then she had so much like turmoil in her life that she did turn to Christianity, that I'm not against it. So I don't want anybody to be offended by the things that I have been through and the things that I will continue to say. So I'll kind of skip over the Christianity because I kind
Yeah,
of feel like we have all been through that.
yeah. A lot of my, because we are into, this show is all about the whole space cosmic thing. So yeah, a lot of my guests have been through it in their life growing up. It's a natural part of being human. Then you have the whole ET thing happen, and that changes the whole perspective. So go ahead.
Yes, which it does. And I think a lot of people are kind of almost afraid to kind of look at what else is going on. But for me, coming in, I always just felt like I was different. And then
Hmm.
when I would be having these dreams of like different entities and stuff like that, my mom would be like, you should be a scientist. And I didn't feel like that because I don't feel like that. I just felt like I'm connected to something outside of myself. So, with that being said, coming on up, I want to skip past a lot of things.
Hmm.
Okay, so I would tell her, me and my sister, we would be able to look at each other and just be able to like talk, like we would be able to communicate without using our words,
Hmm.
which once we was like able to use online and stuff like that, I'm
Yeah, it's
like,
like it's
yeah,
like
like
telepathy.
yes,
You
we're
would
using
if you're
telepathy.
using telepathy, conscious to conscious
Yes,
communications.
yes, very much all the time. I told her, hey, I could go underwater and I could breathe. And she's like, this is weird. And I was like, bitch, sorry. I'm not trying to offend anybody, but like, I'm just a regular girl. So I would be like, hey, like, I feel like I'm breathing underwater. And then I would be able to tell it to her. So the more and more we went on, we grew up in Woodstock, New York, Kingston, New York, Woodstock, New York. We grew up in theater, we grew up in church, this, that, this, that. And I feel like it was so many different sightings and stuff like that there. So the one day my mom's doing the Sojourner Truth play, which if anybody here is from upstate New York, they may know about the play. And we just was like looking at this bright light, just
Hmm.
huge bright light. And we're all like we're like, I was like, I don't know, it's like a stoplight because we didn't necessarily know too much. But we heard one story from my mom who was just straight up abused, manipulated, molested as a child, so that this is not something that is playing in on her mind
Hmm.
as far as like extraterrestrial. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like she could never experience something extraterrestrial if she's just dealing with people who are eating at her, eating at her in a physical manner, like
Hmm.
molesting and stuff like that.
And
But
Inky, I have your mother on here,
oh
Michelle.
my god! I'm sorry, Mom. Oh my god, how did you get here? Oh
She got here. I
I'm
don't know.
watching
my
you.
god!
That's what
Oh
mothers
my
I,
do.
I,
god! Oh
I
my
never
god!
can figure these things out, folks.
Oh my
I
god!
just,
Who are
she said,
you? Who are you?
so that's her mother.
No, no, no. I gotta find you, dude. Cause who are you? How do you got my mom here? Hi, Mom.
Hey,
She was on
baby.
here. She was in the in the thing comment section. I brought her up. She
Oh
said
my
she's your mother.
god.
So
Oh my god.
this is all synchronicity is key. So
This
your
is
mother had the
this
experience.
this right here is like, I don't know, it's divine. I feel like it's divine. But I feel like it's
It,
some way or shape or form it's gonna be able to help all of us.
very interesting. Yeah.
This is crazy. Hi, Mom.
Well, hi. So I want to tell you a little bit about Janae. So
Hello.
Okay.
yeah, when she was first of all, I when I was 17 years old, I was walking down the street in Kingston, New York, and I had been through a lot of, like she said, a lot of abuse and stuff. So I was kind of like didn't really care about the world too much. I didn't know who God was. I didn't know who anyone was. I lived in a lot of darkness. So I'm walking
Yeah.
down the street, 17 years old, and there's these lights over by the Kingston High School, and
Hmm.
they were huge. And I'm like, me and my friend Princess. Now at this time, like I'm a jokester, all of that. Me and my friend Princess are walking down, and I said, "Oh, there must be a game over at the high school tonight." And all of a sudden, these lights start moving from the high school over towards me and my friend. And I'm like, what the? So as I'm
Yeah.
looking at it,
Yeah.
it comes and it stops right over my head.
Oh my gosh.
There's no noise, silent, the brightest lights, just silent. There was none of that. Like when you see on TV, they're like, woo, woo, woo. It was
Right.
none of that. I could not believe that the lights literally moved from the high school over to the middle of the street down the road. Well, it's over my head, so I'm looking up, and because I was an abused kid, it didn't even matter to me. I started jumping up. I said, take me," and I'm
Take
hollering,
me.
and it's like it's almost like they're looking at me. So
Right.
I said, my friend Princess is staring up, and I had a firecracker in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Just being a jokester. While she's looking straight up in the air, I lit the firecracker and scared her.
Oh
So
wow.
just being foolish, I was 17. But
Right.
I said to her, "Let's go tell my sister." So I was like running down the road, like, "Oh my God, we got to Rose, Rose!" And I'm screaming as we're going down. Do you know that it walks literally like it was almost like it was walking, but it was like gliding? It
Yeah.
followed me all the way to her house.
Oh my
And
gosh.
yep, it followed me to her house. And then it just sat right, like it went over a little bit to the left, sat there. All the neighbors came out. And I
Oh
believe I was
wow.
on Prince Street at the time in Kingston.
Hmm.
All the neighbors came out, everyone experienced it. The lights went down a little bit.
Oh
They
wow.
sat there as we all observed. And then in a matter of like, I mean, a split second, it made a sharp right and took off. You heard nothing. There was no sound. It moved faster than anything I've ever seen.
Wow.
And that was 1984. I found out that there was some sightings going on, and no one believed me. They thought I would, they said you're probably seeing pink elephants. They're making jokes, right?
Yeah.
So I've had this experience 17 years later. This is what my daughter's talking about now. I'm over at the college. And as we're at the college, my kids are outside and they keep seeing this light outside. And they're
Yeah.
like, well, what is that? That's weird. And it just would not move at all. And they were outside. How long were you outside, Janae,
We've
before I
been
came?
outside for at least 30 to 40 minutes.
And
Oh wow.
what was the lights doing?
We was all like trying to guess what it was. I was like, oh, this looks like a basketball, something like that.
It just looked weird. Well, I
Yeah,
didn't know what was going on.
but we didn't grow up on her speaking of extraterrestrial life. We grew up on her speaking of just
Jesus.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. You know,
Because
like,
Wow.
community. So
whoa.
I walk out the college. I walk out of the
Hmm.
college, and
After doing a play,
hmm I
So what's
walk.
interesting is you
I
you
walk out. There's
you
another one there,
yeah. So
and
this
it
this thing
followed
was
us.
followed you. So did you think what were you feeling? When I hear stories like this, I'm wondering how you felt. Did you feel a positive feeling when this thing was following you?
No, I felt very afraid at this point now because
Hmm.
we was scared.
it was scary. And this is the reason why we felt this way at this time is as we were going to the car, it started moving like it was following me. It didn't
Wow.
move while my children were out there, but when I came out, it followed me, and then it followed. If this is what scared us, one of the girls that was with us, she was holding on to the door. It almost felt like we were being, like we could be sucked up, but it wasn't. It didn't feel strong enough that we were going to be, but
Right.
it
Right.
made us. There was a feeling of we literally could have been sucked up. And Sakira was holding on to the door, feeling like, no, no. She's holding on, screaming, no. So the kids, we
Did
all
you?
get in the car. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So you all get in the car. So did you feel like this thing was going to try to abduct you onto like some sort of a ship?
Yes,
That's what it felt like. It was about to
An
take us,
abduction.
it
right?
did. It did.
But
So
you guys were both able to prevent the abduction and being taken on the ship, correct?
Yes.
we were, but
Wow,
let
that's
me,
pretty amazing.
yeah, we were. We got in that car and then we drove. That thing chased us from where we were at the college all the way back to Kingston. It followed me
Wow.
to where I live.
Yes.
What I got out that car and I started screaming. I said,
Hmm.
if you want me, take me and leave my children alone. And it
So what
left.
happened? And it left
It
the
left.
actual spaceship left you just completely
Yes.
left.
Yes,
That's
it
amazing.
left. Now
Yes,
here,
sir. Like, I know, like, I've scrolled past your page many a times, and I love what you're doing, but, like, when my mom jumped out the car, like, we was petrified because it stopped with us at the light. So
mhm,
it followed us from Newport, New York, all the way to Kingston, New York, like a
Hmm.
20-minute ride. And
it chased us,
but
sir. It
but
chased us.
but
And
not
how big
only,
how big was this craft? Do you
well,
know?
let me explain,
Yeah.
because she was driving, but me and my sisters and my god sister, um, so the light, it was so bright sitting there for a very long time. And then when my mom came out, that's kind of when it started moving. And we was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, like, what the heck is
Hmm.
It
that?
started changing
Hmm.
You
color.
know, like, we're regular people, so
Hmm.
I don't
Do
think,
you both do you both think that, like from a human perspective, when you have something like that
oh,
happen, do you think that again you're reacting, and I probably, if I were in your shoes, reacted if I was being followed like that, in just a human level? Yeah, I'm maybe afraid or something,
it was
just for,
really
right.
humane.
But do you think that as you reflect back now, do you think the intelligences that were on that ship were there to abduct you or trying to make contact with you?
Sir, let me tell you this. After that happened, a little while after that, I was in my bed, and this this part right here scares me, and it still scares me to this day. And I'm actually even I hate even talking about this because I don't ever want
Hmm.
this to
Hmm.
happen to me again.
Right,
But
of
I mean,
course, of
I'm gonna
course.
say it because maybe somebody can help me with this. I was
Yeah.
laying in my bed. This is after all of that. I was laying in my bed.
Yeah.
We're in that same place where they chased me to.
Mm-hmm.
And I got up in the morning to go to the bathroom around 6 a.m. I
Mm-hmm.
came back and got in the bed, pulled my blanket up, and I felt something heavy, very heavy, sit on my feet.
Oh my God.
Yes. Now, my mom had just died, so this was after 2002. It had to be some,
Okay.
I don't, she had died recently. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
this
Mm-hmm.
thing was so heavy, it sat on my feet, and I had the blankets pulled up like on my head, so I thought, who who would be this heavy like sitting on my
Sit on
feet?
your feet.
I
Yeah.
got ready to pull the blanket off my head.
Mm-hmm.
This thing ran up my body.
Oh my God.
It took a big hand, pressed my
Mm-hmm.
whole head down, pressed my
Oh my
whole
gosh.
head onto the pillow. And
Mm-hmm.
sir, the only thing I heard was something drilling in my head.
Oh my God.
It sounded like something was drilling in my head. And I was thinking, oh my God. So here's the first thought I had.
Yeah.
I was like, my mom died. I was like, maybe I'm having a stroke or something. And I'm afraid. Maybe I'm having a stroke. Maybe I'm dying. I don't know. And I said, Mommy, I started, and you know what? I couldn't even, I guess, get it out of my mouth, but I was
Yeah.
trying to scream. I said, Mommy,
Hmm.
Mommy, help. And I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
help. Thinking, well, my mother can come and save me. And this thing is drilling in my
Oh my
head.
gosh.
And I was saying, my mom ain't helping. Savannah's my other daughter, and she's over in
Mm-hmm.
the other
Mm-hmm.
room. I said, Savannah,
Mm-hmm.
Savannah. And it's still
Mm.
drilling. All of a sudden, because I'm a Christian, I
Right.
said, Jesus, save me. And do you know that thing jumped off of me?
Yeah, they don't like that.
It
So do
jumped
you
off of me. It jumped
do you
off of me.
do you think it was I get that it was some sort of a lower vibrational ET that was
Yes.
trying to put an implant in you, and
Yeah.
actually it did not succeed because when I we always talk about Christ consciousness on a cosmic level. The one
Yes.
thing lower vibrational ETs don't like that are invading your space, and they can come into the home from a spaceship and just walk right in because that's what they're able to do. Molecular structure breaks down. They're sitting on your foot and you're saying, how'd that thing get here? You know, and then they can disappear just as quickly. So when you said that, it just disappeared, right?
Yes, it did. And then I was so afraid to go to sleep that I went down and got on my couch. And
Yeah,
when I got
yeah,
on the couch and I finally was able to try to go back to sleep,
yeah.
something tried to get on my feet again. And I screamed
Oh my
again.
God.
I screamed Jesus. And when I screamed Jesus that time, that has never happened to me again. But things
Yeah,
that do happen to me now are little things like I can feel somebody touching my shoulder. Sometimes it feels like somebody's tapping me on my back, my lower back side. Like I
yeah,
can feel like, or I feel like somebody bumps me, stuff like that. But
yeah,
no more of that other thing. But what
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
telling you, I'm so, and I hate saying this because I don't ever want that to happen again.
I don't want to happen again to you
And I
either. No,
don't talk about it,
yeah,
but I want to say this tonight because my daughter has a lot of these vibrations that we were talking about.
yeah,
She
yeah,
sees a
yeah,
lot of things. She
yeah,
sees more things. I've put a block on my brain. I don't want to see
hmm,
anything. I
yeah,
promise you, when I see these things flying around that's going on
yeah,
right now,
yeah,
I was even a little leery to even look at those because I was afraid something was going to pop up and I'd see something again.
yeah, 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 yeah. I got you.
And,
Well, I want to say thank you for both of you. I didn't know your mom was on here, Paul.
I
So I
didn't.
mean, I had
I
to bring your mom
didn't.
up
I
here.
didn't. I didn't know either.
You're a good mom. You're a good mom. You have a good daughter, and sharing that experience, we always tell people to operate in Christ consciousness because the lower vibrational ETs don't like that. They just it's the vibration is so way more powerful. The positive space beings I work with, they all operate in Christ consciousness from the other planetary worlds. They look like us. They're very loving. I also am a star seed, so I'm both human. I'm having the human experience, and I'm also from off planet. So I loved your stories. It was great to have you both on together. You know.
Thank you. Well, we both have those these vibrations, or
Yeah.
we
No,
can
really.
just we
I
can. This girl right here,
I'm
she's
not gonna lie. So, you know, my mom and I, we definitely vibrate on, like, I don't vibrate necessarily on the consciousness that she's vibrating on.
Right. Right. Of course.
I vibrate on just like going directly to ether. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
when we use these words, Jesus Christ, when we use Jesus Christo, however you want to mix it up, we're on a mathematical level and we're sending these things directly up into ether. So
Right.
I always just like, I want to give her the reminder that yes, there is nothing wrong with the Bible, but can people utilize the Bible? Absolutely. I don't want to never change anybody's perspective. I want to keep everybody in the form of like what they're supposed to do, but there's nothing left for the reincarnation cycle of going around through, uh, like using certain words.
I'll put this. You know, when we operate in a, and I'll let you guys go because I know this is one person waiting in the queue, but when we operate in a cosmic Christed frequency of light, which is beyond religion, beyond,
Yeah,
I one of the things I teach people is throw away the Quran and all these different earth-based books. And once we get people out of the temples and the churches and all the things they've been indoctrinated into, when we have contact, which is going to happen with the spiritual space people, many of which look like us, they just live in a very higher vibrational frequency. Their planets don't have pollution. Their planets don't have governments like we have separations of different states and countries. There's no separation. We, on this planet, we separate everything. We create all these structures and things, and it causes divisions upon humanity and on all life forms, when in fact, we're not supposed to be living like this. So, yeah, I want to thank you guys for being here.
I appreciate
we appreciate that.
Yeah, really, you guys are great.
When you
And I
bring
got
us
the mother on here with the daughter, so that's
no,
you know.
no. But when you bring us back, like I do have stories that you know what I mean
Yeah.
because she's on her level, I'm on mine.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone has their own consciousness, which is the way it should be. All right, guys, I'm going to let you down here, and I want to thank you for coming on. And we're on here nightly at 11, so definitely feel free to come in whenever you wish to.
Yes, thank you so much for having us.
Okay, Michelle
thank
and Inky,
you.
everybody, thank you so much. We
Thank
appreciate you
you.
both. We had the
We
mother
wish
and the
nothing but
daughter.
light and love, light and love, light and love. Thank
Light
you.
and love. That's
Yes,
exactly right.
thank you. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Inky Winky, thank you for coming up and sharing your story. And let's see where we're going now. Let's see. Um, let's see who we got here. Let's see. And that was great. The mother and daughter story was phenomenal. Oh, thank you so much, Plain Rainbow. We appreciate you. And we also have we have also Alien, the person that I was working with last night. I want to say hello to Friends with Furries. I want to say hello to April. I think she's still here. Um, let's see here. Hopefully the TikTok is going to work here. Oh, well, April was here. I guess she's not here now. Hmm. I think we're having technical difficulties. Not yet, Corey. I'm going to, though. I will definitely get to that. I know April was here just a minute ago, but she's not here. She might be going live. Let me see. Hold on a minute. Is she on or not? Oh, all right. That didn't work too well. Well, anyway, it's getting late. It's 1:38 in the morning. I'm gonna. If you, I want everyone to follow me. All 382 people. If you're not following me, thank you. We got to 106,000. To follow me, go on to the bio page, press the follow button. Also, if you want to watch our shows, I have a link to my YouTube channel, Ashtar Command Spaceship News. Yeah, she was here just a minute ago in the live. I think she's going live on late night on her end. So definitely check her out. Friends with Furries 1111. Friends with Furries 1111 is the person I work with, and we're a part of a group of 5 that are going to be going off planet, hopefully before the end of the year of 2025. That's a whole nother story. Let me just take a brief moment to promote Commander's brand, Hardside Head. Definitely, George, go right ahead. I want to say the one thing that's important at the end of the show. I want to say I love everybody, all our new viewers, all the people that have been with me for over 3 years. We send our love out to everybody out there, and we appreciate everybody's support. And we're going to continue to bring you some of the best programming here on Encounters. I should make my own brand of apple cider. Thank you, Alicia. I appreciate that. And yeah, we again, our show will be downloaded by tomorrow. You can watch it on. If you missed anything, you can. Thank you, Livola. You can watch it on my YouTube channel, Ashtar Command Spaceship News. Go to the bio and press the link for my YouTube channel. All right, everybody. And everybody, if you're not following me and you're new to the show, press my follow button. That's really important. All right. Hey, everyone, Mary and Ray, everybody out there, take care. I'm going to get some shut eye here. And this has been another good night of Encounters, a show that's out of this world. Take care, everybody. Be well.